Howdy, folks. Welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our space western space opera Starfinder campaign. I'm Joe Treff, your game master for the evening, and joining me are my friends. Let me just go to this camera. I'm doing a great job. Matt, Dan, Carson, Olive, and Ari. A couple of announcements before we get started in this game. Firstly, the website, albronrpg.com, is very, very updated. There's tons of updates to it. There are highlights now posted for each character. Each character for both the Adventures in Alberon 5e D&D campaign and the Starfinder campaign, Mosaic Team 5, have highlights, individual profiles, little, for Mosaic Team 5, little personnel comment snippets. So things that you can see at albronrpg.com. There is also, I always forget to say this, but there's an email. If you want to ask questions to anybody who is a player here, you can write an email to cast@albronrpg.com, and you can send questions, comments, whatever you want, to cast@albronrpg.com. There are new emotes, which are coming for the bits. They're relating to each Mosaic Team 5 character, donating a certain number of bits. As you kind of amass the number that you're donating, you'll reach different milestones, and that unlocks different expressions for different characters. So that's going to be coming in a couple weeks. Really excited as that gets a little closer. You can check those out as they come to us, actually, on our Instagram, which is @AlberonRPG. There's also new Adventure in Alberon emotes coming out for the new characters, Oakfeld, Brenna, and Eleanor, that have joined the campaign. And then finally, there's no Adventures in Alberon tomorrow because I was originally supposed to teach a class on Saturday, and I am no longer doing so, but we already canceled, so unfortunately.
Oh, I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Damn, I was looking forward to it too.
Well, everybody wants to. Well, no, we already canceled it. It's okay. We could. I mean, I have a one-shot ready to go. We could run like an airship one-shot. Anyways, we'll talk about it. So, anyways, there's probably not going to be anything tomorrow night. However, next week, on Thursday, we will have our regularly scheduled Mosaic Team 5 Session 9, assuming everybody survives. And then the following day at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll have Adventures in Alberon Session, I believe, 105, which is also going to be a fantastic session. So I'm very excited for that. And finally, we have Sirenscape for the music that you hear behind you, starting with the high whistle. Just a little late. Starting with the high whistle, down to a whole variety of sound effects like galloping horses, passing traffic, things of that nature. You can use Sirenscape. It's a pretty powerful digital tool set, which, depending on how far we get tonight, you'll really get to see the scope and breadth of. But Sirenscape, check that out. And with that is going to bring us to our recap. Let me take a sip of my drink. Alrighty. Mosaic Team 5. Last that we played, you engaged a bomber soaring from within a garbage ring, a streak of toxicity extracted from Petrus 4 below, forming a Saturn-like ring around the planet. As it dove and attacked the blue sunshine, this kind of Rentropy-owned cruise liner, not really cruise liner, it's like a ferry. It brings people within the system from planet to planet. You all intervened. Gives with you really having a crisis of conscience over helping a company that you despise. However, with a very interesting maneuver involving ramming the bomber with your ship, Shade, being an android not needing oxygen, you were able to immediately dash to the outside of the ship and fire your gravity pistol, ejecting the pilot from his seat and launching him into space, end over end, where he probably still remains.
I enjoyed that.
Forever traveling through the void of space, no longer with oxygen. That's horrifying to think about.
Rip.
You all landed in Rock King Central and went through decontamination together, a process that for you, Gibbs, very traumatic and underscored the massive changes that the place had undergone in your absence. No longer were they the central junkyard of the freshies, or really much of the city as you remembered it. Now, very green, very fresh. Much of the plant life aesthetic and not functional. This entire place, sort of a affront to what nature really should be. Almost a termination of every ecosystem that could exist while still having living things. The city had changed much, but you hoped there would still be some element of home remaining. After a brief squabble over the kind of vehicle and cost, you all traveled north, making your way to Junkfall. Although as you approached on the highway, in a rented truck and motorcycle for you, Shade, you noticed a billboard featuring a much-grown Chesterfield freshie, one of the freshies. When you met him, an enforcer for the gang, now seeming to take a much larger role. You saw gold teeth, you saw the cowboy hat. Junkfall was no longer Junkfall, but rebranded Junkfalls, and you could see the junkyard neatly organized with the thrown away elements of metal and wood forming tenement blocks, some with courtyards, most ramshackle and built from a variety of different elements. As you drove through, passing a statue of Chesterfield Freshie, you saw the sigil of your clan above the most ramshackle and junky-looking building of the lot. You pulled up outside, wailed on the horn, in onslaught of Yosoki. Some, with all of their limbs and fingers, emerged from the door, embracing you. Some still a little bitter at your having left. You all met Element. Well, Vessa, you stayed behind in the ship, having still experienced elements of gastric distress that kept you glued to the ship for a time. Bubs, in this time, as everybody else met Gibbs's family, you heard elements of the conversation as you helped Hoagie unload these crates of food that Gibbs had liberated from the hotel you stayed at. You noticed Hoagie over the course of this period eating several yams, just raw, kind of, like mouthful. You could see in the big Yosoki cheek pouches, and especially for Hoagie, who looks more hamster-like than mouse-like, kind of pudgy, just kind of storing them away. But you all spoke a little bit to your family, learned of the situation, elements anyways. You learned that the Freshies seemed to be propped up by Rentropy, learning that there was a woman, a female Yosoki, a link between Rentropy and Chesterfield, who now seems to be the leader of the Freshie group. You know that they live in a mansion to the northwest, while the rest live in this kind of squalid environment, which, for you, not terrible, but for the rest of the Yosoki in the area, probably not the preferred way of living. And even for you, looking inside, there's a small mound of junk, but so small compared to the resources your family once controlled. One moment.
Could you turn the music down a little bit?
Yes.
Thank you.
No worries. Just gotta let me know. But thank you for letting me go off of my monologue. Suddenly, as you spoke, an SUV pulled up out front, coming to a stop, unleashing 4 of these Freshie henchmen, one of which was vaguely familiar to you, Star Chews. But they approached. You saw your family leap to action, rehearsed, pulling out crates of grown yams and gallon jugs of water that had been distilled and refreshed kind of from the sky. When these were brought out, Star Chew inspected them and found one of them to be missing yams. Bubs, you would know from Hoagie, having snacked on them as he went, convinced that now, with Gibbs's additional supplies, it would be okay. Being short, Star Chew demanded an additional 5 crates in the next week, something almost impossible to deliver. As he walked away, 9, already angry from your conversation about why you had left, swore at Star Chew, provoking a aggressive reaction, and in this moment, all of you drew weapons and began to emerge from this ramshackle building. And we're going to start with initiative. And I'm going to put us into our combat camera so you guys can kind of see what's going on. I believe it should be right around the crossroads, so
the gun.
it should be
Yes, I have it now.
Okay. It's the which one did I give you?
You gave me. I can tell you because it's right here. Gotta slide it out. Bravado hand cannon.
Okay. Cool.
You didn't give me the one I wanted, but I'll take this one.
The other one was the rifle, which
Yeah, it's the
I
one
don't.
that you looted off the body.
Yeah.
And I have the flare
I
gun
have the-
and the standard laser pistol now.
I think I
Yeah, I have the
loaded it in 'cause
tri-laser.
I wanted it.
It's
but
not
I
even
didn't
that much
equip it.
better. Yeah, it's not even that much better.
Okay.
It's got like better range and slightly better damage.
Your guys' weapons are not great. And when
No.
you guys were like at the mall with weapon shops and stuff, you guys bought wigs. You bought.
Okay, but we
costumes.
were also
dog butt sticky notes.
Yeah.
we
No,
were
no,
also
thanks.
relatively poor.
They were necessities.
You still
We were
bought all those
stealing
other
money.
things and not.
I bought food and supplies for the ship, okay? I was
should.
responsible.
I think your personnel file reflects that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm responsible.
So anybody for initiative natural 20.
Oh, I should probably do that.
That is a thing
roll.
to do.
Ooh, not quite, but good.
Okay. 25 to 20.
22.
22, great. It's at the top of the stack. For shade, anybody 20 to 15?
18. Oh,
Okay,
what's
who
your
has a higher
dex?
dex?
Is it Dex or Initiative?
Well, your
bonus?
your dex. What's your because we match? It's whoever has a higher dex modifier. So if you have a higher than 1, you'll go first, or I'll go first.
For Dex I have +1, I think.
Okay.
Do you have nothing?
No, I have +1 too.
What is your initiative modifier?
5.
What's yours?
+1, right?
Okay.
My dex, right?
Then I'm going to take.
No,
over.
initiative modifier is different.
I know
Okay.
for an envoy, I think you get a bonus for some reason, Spice.
I chose it as a feat.
That's what it was. Yeah, I
Oh,
knew
yeah.
you get a bonus to it.
That's yeah.
So
you
I'm
gotta
going to put
miscellaneous.
Spice up first,
Deal.
and then we will put Gibbs below. All right, 15 to 10. Ooh,
Oh,
10 to
jeez.
5.
I'm going real bad.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
What did you get there, Bubs?
6.
Oh.
Yeah. I rolled with my
Okay.
bad luck die.
And then Carson,
Throw
can you
that
roll a
thing away.
d4?
Throw that shit away.
Yes. Here you go.
You have to tell me
Oh.
what it says, though.
Give me
Well,
another
it's easy. It's 1, 2, 3, and then the last one that you can't
Okay.
understand
Oh,
is 4.
Let me see.
That's a 3.
Okay, 3.
A 3? Okay.
3 rounds?
2.
2, okay.
Yes, that's right.
So it turns out that your food poisoning, it kind of got through your system relatively quick, and you burst out hot on the. Honestly, it took them a long time to leave. So you had probably a few people who could point you in the direction, actually. So
Yeah. Stop for a coffee.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you stopped for a coffee. You could have actually gotten here on time, but you stopped for like a Happy Meal and stuff on the way. Okay, so the way that this combat is going to work, as everything is happening, Shade, you are going to be first, followed by Spice, followed by Gibbs, then the Freshies, then the Scab Rats, and then Bubs all the way at the end. Carson, when you arrive, you'll roll for initiative on that turn.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so Shade. And just now I'll actually explain this for everybody, so I don't have to explain it more than once, and howdy das. When you look at this battlefield, first of all, I had to go kind of old school because we don't have like junk buildings just lying around.
Yeah, why
And
not?
if they don't-
Cute though.
they,
I
like,
like
don't
the old
exist.
school.
Thank
The
you.
drawing.
Yeah, it's nice.
So what you're seeing is a cutaway. You're seeing the first floor of every structure. I figured that would be the easiest for you guys to access and kind of work for the battlefield. The other floors in most of the structures typically are geared towards harvesting water and crops. So you're not missing much, and it's pretty easy to describe those things. These streets right now are laid out in a grid. You know that there are 3 of these kind of tenement buildings. You're getting just a corner of each one. They're roughly 5 times that size. So you're at a crossroads. The Freshies are off to the northwest in that direction. From me,
This
it is
isn't a
oriented
Freshie's
north.
house though.
No. They're way off in the other corner of town. You can see, Bubs, you are in the back of the truck.
Okay.
There are no more crates. You just kind of got the last one and are shutting the doors. You're hearing all of this happening, kind of like waiting to see what happens.
Mhm.
You can see there's a civilian across the street, a civilian in the other corner who just parked their scooter. There is a SUV that the Freshies took, that black SUV outside. It is a hover car that is currently in park. The Freshies have green, that's a civilian.
Okay, I saw.
The Freshies have green bases.
Okay.
The Scab Rats have those dried rust-colored bases.
Scab Rats
then-
is RT.
Yes.
Yes.
That's my family.
Yes.
Star Chews is the taller-looking of the
This
Freshies.
motherfucker?
Yes. That mostly summarizes the battlefield. If you have questions, just feel free to ask. So, with that in mind, Shade, what do you want to do?
So if I ready my action, can I still take a move action?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to use my move action to activate my versatile focus feat within my adaptive fighting feats.
Okay.
And then I'm going to ready to attack with my tri-laser if things start to get hot, in the sense that this isn't really my fight to fight, but if people start shooting, I'm going to defend myself.
No worries, no worries. Okay. So you get ready, just sensing that there's danger in the air, and with that experience.
And we're like at peepholes, right? Kind of in that
Yeah,
little
you guys are
bus
looking
window.
and really, though there are walls here, nothing.
It's like
with
scraps
a
of,
few exceptions,
like-
provide full cover.
like
Yeah,
corrugated
exactly.
tin.
And you're seeing like rust holes and everything, so you can make a sight pretty
Yeah.
easily.
And I'd say I'll attack whoever is most threatening as my ready to action.
Okay, no
Like,
worries. No
yeah.
worries. Just let me know if it triggers, and it will happen after an enemy attack is resolved, I would assume.
yeah.
But all right, so that is Shade. You are holding your attack. Spice, what would you like to do? And Gibbs, you are on deck.
I'm going to classic move, clever feint.
Clever feint. Okay.
What do I want to do as a clever feint?
So they need to be able to see you, or what is the?
So
wording
I'm
on
still
that?
inside, actually, right?
You are,
Uh,
yeah. And then the truck is right outside. There's enough room for you to kind of squeeze on, but Gibbs said that she pulled up right out front. So
So then I'm going to change my action
okay.
to do a dirty trick.
Okay.
And the dirty trick I'm going to do is I'm going to do a telepathic scream into the minds of all of
Freshies.
our enemies here.
The freshies.
Freshies.
Those
I was gonna say
motherfucking
scab rats, and I was like,
freshies.
that's not right.
No, the scab rats are your guys' butts.
That's
Okay.
my last name. Don't you know that?
Yes, of course I know that. That's why I didn't say it.
So do they need to roll a save, or what is that? What's going on with that?
Let's see here. I have it open.
They just hear a.
Yeah, well, it's
More like an exacerbated sigh, like,
Uh,
you're making me do this.
I did have it open, but this is not a. I think I have to roll at least to be able to do it.
This is your ability, so you got to tell me.
Where's that?
What's it called?
Combat. Telepathic scream, but it's a dirty trick, so it's a combat maneuver.
This is the thing with envoys. I feel like there's so many
Yeah,
levels.
it's
to
so
what they can
hard. Oh, intimidate check.
do. Okay.
Here we go.
And you need to exceed the target's KC by 8.
Yeah. Okay, so that is a natural 18 plus 8.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So what does that do to them?
It's a shaken condition
A shaken condition.
for every.
I don't have shaken. But why don't you go ahead and put frightened on them?
Frightened.
Shaken is a -2 penalty to all ability checks, attack roll, saving throws, and skill checks.
Okay.
Just so everyone knows.
Oh.
They just don't have. I only have 5E status markers. I've been looking for Starfinders. If you know where I can get some. But shaken is not a 5E condition.
Can you do 4? Can you only do 3?
Didn't I give you 4?
No, I'm asking you. How many can you do? Can you do 3 or 4?
Per intimidate ranks. Let's see how many ranks in intimidate I have. 1. So only one of them.
No. So it's sorry. So read your text. You can use this ability on one target creature per character level. That's your character level.
So 3.
All of which must be in range of your telepathy.
Yep.
If you succeed, all targets are shaken for 1 round plus 1 additional round for every 5 by which you exceed the DC.
What was the DC?
So the DC.
So the DC is 15 plus 1 per target plus 1 minus
Oh my God.
half equals the CR of the highest CR target. Or times the CR of the
And
highest.
you rolled what? A 17?
So I rolled natural 18, but then my intimidate is plus 8.
So 26.
So 26. So you're exceeding that by. Oh man, Starfinder is math. You're exceeding it by 8.
So that's
Okay.
+1
So that's plus-
extra.
yeah, so you get 2 rounds of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're
So
frightened, not shaken.
No, they're shaken.
they're
They're
shaken.
shaken.
It's just we don't have the shaken
Okay.
markers. Yeah.
Not
But
stirred.
you can only do 3, so which 3 do you want to do? Sorry.
I want to do Big Pikachu.
Yep.
Pikachu. It actually has to be all the ones
These
that are
baddies
not
close to the children,
Okay.
and then
Okay,
one of
that guy?
those guys. Yeah.
Okay,
Close
perfect.
to the children, not the children.
So Spice, from inside, as you hear all of this happen, you focus on the minds that are most foreign to you, the ones that you haven't really seen before or sensed before. And in that moment, you reach out and let out this psychic shriek. For those of you closer to the action, you see all of a sudden across all of the freshies, or most of the freshies, this ripple of almost pain. Almost like a wave coming from the direction of Spice. But anything else, Spice?
I'm going to stay covered behind, in this window or whatever.
Okay, sure. So you crouch down in that sort of junk corner. That brings us to you, Gibbs. What do you want to do? And then the freshies are going to go.
So I'm right on the other side of the glass with Star Shoes being his back towards me.
Correct.
So I'm going to forcibly push myself through the glass
Okay.
and try and get in front of him, and then probably cast a spell.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Sure, it can't be acrobatics.
Pretty sure.
Oh,
yeah, 'cause you're
damn.
trying to body through a couple.
It's 14, but I have a -2 to my strength mod, so that would be
Ooh.
12 to get through the glass.
Okay,
It's glass.
so it's not so much to get through the glass. It's more to get through the glass safely, and then also to be able to impose yourself between.
Okay.
You're trying to put yourself sort of diagonal
Like-
from
I'd like to
behind.
put myself
In between.
right there. Yeah.
Okay. With a 12, I'm going to say no problem. You push yourself through, the bottle mostly kind of scraping up and getting yourself caught. As that happens, your paw slips and you do take 2 points of piercing damage just from just smashing through glass.
Hey, man, I'll take it.
But you slide underneath. You can see one of these, actually it would be Starchew, pulling out what looks like some kind of a pistol. You can see other pistols emerging at the same time. But you put yourself right in the middle.
And I'm going
Ooh.
to say, yeah, I forgot. It's all good. Shame on you, Star Shoes.
Starchews.
Star Shoes.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast. I'm just going to spit right in his face the way
Nice.
I do.
Fun.
It's
I'm so ready
and
to
cast
shoot
my-
him in the hand if he tries to kill you, Gibbs.
My Wisp ally spell, but what I forgot is how Starfinder is different from D&D, and I think this because they're not flat-footed, I'm casting a spell, and it's an attack of
Provokes
opportunity.
Yeah.
So I will do
Sorry,
that.
I
Okay.
should have clever
No,
painted
it's
first.
okay.
So I think if Gibbs gets attacked, that would trigger my ready to action.
Yes, once
for
you get
sure.
that. And it's going to definitely trigger 3 of them.
Yeah.
But go ahead. You can resolve yours first, and then we'll.
Mine
Figure
gets
that out.
resolved because he gets spit in the face,
Yeah.
and it attaches to him. And we're gonna use
I'm gonna rub some dirt in your eye.
Harrying Fire, and so
Nice.
the next ally to attack gets a +2 circumstance bonus.
So
So
this
that will be you.
Yeah, that's the herring fire.
Yeah, and that lasts for a little bit now.
So you slide out, kind of winking your face as glass tumbles down your fur, a little bit of blood on your cheek. You reach back, screeching that message, and spit at Starchew. You can see it gets on his face, on the nice gray suit, sinking in, and immediately from that, you see elements of soiled clothing begin to almost wither, like your spit causes like a caustic effect. But he is considered Lugid, I guess. Anything else, Gibbs? Before you take a couple of attacks here.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna try and collect my allies around me, but
Okay.
like shelter them from the 3 people there. But
Big Mama Rat. Just kind
Yeah.
of. Okay, sure.
I'm back. Fuck off.
So you slide like that. You puff your chest out and spit right in Starchew's face. For a moment, he freezes. You can see the gun in his hand as he wipes the spit away. He sneers at you. He
doesn't
looks
wipe
around
away.
the group. No, it really doesn't. It kind of wipes over, and you see it just down his arm and moving back. But he turns towards all of the other Yosoki that are gathered around and just goes, "Killer, This is going to be 3 attacks. You see 3 semi-automatic pistols.
When Star Choose makes his attack,
Yes.
do I trigger mine?
Yes, but yours is going to resolve after theirs
Okay.
does. Okay, so, wow, that is very, very lucky. So that is 1 natural 1.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we are going to see a 15.
Against EAC, or it doesn't matter.
This is against KAC.
No, I'm not high defense. That hits.
Okay, that
sorry.
hits?
Yes, hits.
And then the other one is going to be much higher than that. So
Yes.
you are taking 2 hits. That is going to be... Wow, you are getting... I'm going to not roll on the surface. That's not a good surface to roll on. Okay. You are taking 9 points of piercing damage at point blank as these Yosogi, sort of like cowboy gangster types, pull out these semi-automatic pistols. They reach over towards you, and immediately for all of you, you can just hear gunfire.
Damn.
That is going to be their turn, or their reaction, however. Gibbs, anything else that you're doing? So now your attack
Pew,
triggers.
pew,
As soon
pew.
as you hear these bullets go off from this crouched position, you stand.
Okay, I get a +2 to that from your harried fire.
Yes.
Is that it?
Oh, but only against Star.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
aiming at Star Chew because he
Yes.
just shot at
He's
you,
the-
and
big boss.
he's yeah.
yes, +2.
Okay, so that's let me check here. That's a 21.
21
Does he
hits.
also get like minus for being shaken?
Oh, yes, he gets a.
Minus
Oh, all
2.
of those would have had a -2 penalty to them. So the 15, one of those would not have hit.
One of those would not have hit?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Shaken.
Go ahead and
Nice.
take off 4 points of damage then.
Gladly.
All right, and then so that hit, and I'm gonna
Yes, certainly.
hit him with some damage. Nice maximum damage. That's
Nice.
9 flame points.
Max damage.
Flame points.
It's a fire.
Yeah,
uh,
lasers are fire.
Yeah,
Flame,
lasers will
yeah.
typically fire.
Yeah.
So how much was that?
9.
9. Fantastic.
9.
Give me 1 second here. I gotta reorient myself. Okay, excellent. You, as soon as you hear this, you hear the gunshots pull off. For you, Gibbs, in this moment, like with bullets piercing your body, this you see the loogie like still suctioning up this
Trying to
person's
shoot his
arm.
hand.
From within the
thematically.
junk, there is suddenly just lasers that just fire out, and you can see one of the Yosogi get struck. The pistol almost dislodged from his hand, almost.
Star Chew.
From Starchu. Okay.
Start you. I
I
choose
keep
you.
thinking, yeah, I keep. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who's like, is that Raichu's evolution?
I was thinking Starmie.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Maybe it's a gross
Gibbs, that
like
was your
genetic
turn.
mashup. Of
That was
both
my
of them.
turn.
Now it is their turn.
Yep.
So, with that happening, look, I'm going to.
You just got shot.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done this, but it's all good.
It's okay. Bubs
I
is
forgot
close
about
by.
the reaction until
I'm
I.
just going to take some cover behind the car.
Do I get attack of opportunity?
You do.
Nice.
He is going to take cover behind this. And they are just going to. He's not going to leave attack of opportunity range, but he's just going to slide. Starchu is too proud. Okay.
And he also just got shot.
I
So
can't
like,
use
who
a
the
spell as
fuck
an
just
attack of
shot me?
opportunity, right?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I think there's a feat you can take for that.
Yeah, that's
Right, I mean-
Warcaster
In
for
5e,
5e.
it's I don't know what it is for this.
It's
Well, because I
Starcaster.
don't have my Needler pistol,
Mhm.
I'm gonna flare gun him.
Nice. Hit him with the flare gun.
Amazing. Of
Pulls
course
up
you are.
stats.
16.
Nice.
I have
Against,
a
EAC,
proficiency in
correct?
small arms.
Yeah. No, you're definitely proficient. It's a
And he's
flare gun.
shaking.
And
And
he's
he's
shaking.
shaken.
So for all of you, for now, you see like Gibbs gets shot a whole bunch of times. Shade, you stand up and react, firing your laser. And for the rest of us, you see Gibbs pull out this stumpy-looking pistol that you've never really seen, or one or two of you have seen before.
I saw it. Hey, I
kind of
saw
like a
that
navy
thing.
print on the barrel. You pull the trigger, and this burst of bright blue energy, and then like this flare leaps out,
That's the
striking one of the
flare gun from
Yosogi.
that
Which are you aiming at?
terrorist.
The shaken one who was in my range,
Okay,
right?
sure.
Who
Who's-
ran away.
But yeah, he was the only one I could have hit.
This
Yep, the one that's now behind the
6 damage.
Nice.
6
Plus
damage.
2, I think.
That would make sense.
Because it's same as my needler pistol, I can only assume.
Yeah.
So +2.
Plus
so
2.
8 damage to that guy
I
with
mean,
a flare
that's
gun.
pretty good. As he slides around, kind of running, a little shaken, looking around frantically, trying to figure out what screaming is happening in his ears. All of a sudden, this flare hits him dead in the chest. He's about to like turn around to start firing, and it hits him, and he just poof, around the corner. You see him slide a little bit and climb back to his feet. It's only on a critical that it begins burning, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so no
but it's
problem.
bright.
That is your attack of opportunity. Lots of attacks of opportunity. It is now their attacking time here. We are going to get a whole bunch of shots off on... Alright, so first the one that is not shaken is going to make his attack. This is on you, Gibbs.
Got it.
That is a natural 20.
Damn it. That makes up for the nat 1, guys. It's all good.
Oof, yeah, that's going to be rough. Okay, so, well, I mean,
Double
not really.
damage.
That is going to be... Okay. 14 points of piercing damage.
Holy
Yikes.
Yeah,
cow.
that sucks. That's maximum damage too. There is no benefit to critical, however.
That's
So,
good.
so much is happening at once. Gibbs, you leap out, bursting through glass. You get shot several times. You spit in this guy's face as everybody begins to run because shade begins to cover and fire through the junk. You pull out a flare pistol and shoot one of the Yosoki dead in the chest. This Yosoki kind of falls back for a second. The other one, seeing this happens from around the statue between Chesterfield's legs, fires at you, and this hits you right in the gut. For a moment, you reach back. You can almost swear you hear the bottle crack as if it goes through, but it doesn't seem to have. That is his attack. For the one that is shaken against you,
-2, please.
that is going to be, even with all of their bonuses, a 2. So that is going to miss. And then we have the person all the way in the back is going to take a shot at you. They're also getting a -2 conditional modifier, so that's -4. That is a natural 20.
No.
What is
What the fuck? Right off the bat.
What?
First round.
What? Double natural 20s
Yeah.
against Gibbs?
Yeah.
Why are you gonna do it
Ouch.
like that, huh? Get that
Okay.
D20 out of there.
We're okay.
Those are 2 different dice, too.
Get them both out of there.
Not as good on the damage. That is going to be 6 points of piercing damage.
That would be like
My Gibbsy.
My Gibbsy.
Is that back person way back there?
that's
This
No,
one.
civilian.
no, that's a civilian. That's the
Just
guy all the
watching.
way, what was a
These two?
changeling, yeah. That.
Oh, that one.
Oh, that one.
And
Okay.
then finally, Star Chew, looking down at
think
you,
that's
seeing you
just,
shot again and
older.
again and again, kind of sneers. He aims at you.
Wow.
He's flat-footed
Three
too, right?
fucking
And
attacks.
harried.
He's harried, yeah.
No, they actually have a
And
dragon.
-2.
That is... Jeez, that's so much math. That's 8. So that's going to miss, I assume?
It does
Okay.
miss.
So even at point blank, he sneers and smiles, and as he pulls up the gun and pulls the trigger, there is this kind of... And looking down, you can see this gross amalgamation of
Nice.
like loogie-like material just gunking up the gun. He looks down and just goes, "What the fuck?" and just begins to try to like scrape it off on himself. But that is the Freshie's turn. That brings us to the Scab Rats, and then Bubs, you're on deck. So, up front, you have Tobin, who, man, they don't have a lot in words of weapons here.
Oh, they're labeled. Look at you.
I did, yeah. If you can move Tobin
they got
back
the
and into the
names,
junk
too?
piles, he's going to try to escape a little bit. 9 is not. 9 is going to go towards the one behind the statue.
Watch out, 9. Don't go too far.
She's sword lady though. She's like samurai.
she's the one with
Yeah,
the
but she
weapon,
doesn't want to get caught out.
She'll be okay.
You see, and you remember that 9 had her weapons taken from her, but you see 9 pulls out what looks like a hatchet, and like reaching over, hurls it end over end, and just misses badly. You see the hatchet just flies right by
Oh,
it,
it's
hits
Orphan.
Chesterfield right in the Orphan is the swords person. Chesterfield is hit right in the leg, the statue. You see the marble splinter a little bit, but aside from that, no damage. That is going to be all of them.
There's 3 in here.
There is,
Are they gonna
but
do
There's
anything? That's
4
fine,
in
they don't.
there.
wait, real quick question: is
They're
Adora
children.
back there?
Oh, Adora, the sword fighting
Yes.
mouse.
She is not.
No, wait.
Orphan is the sword fighting mouse.
Adora
Adora.
does have a
Orphan's
weapon,
the
though.
sword.
One of
Adora
them has
does.
a weapon.
Adora has the weapon.
Yeah, okay, this one's Adora.
Okay, so Adora is actually going to point what looks like it is a strange-looking pistol, kind of an elongated barrel. Give me a second. Let me pull it out just so I don't misdescribe it here. This is what I get for being over-prepared.
It's like some crazy junkyard pistol.
9,000.
Well, no, it's not even. But the thing is, I like, there's so many different weapons here.
It's the Jacinto eye shoot.
It's so funny because there is a weapon not dissimilar to something of that nature, but no, it is not. Okay, so no problem. This is a diffractor perforator pistol, and though it has that violent name, what it uses is the sonic energy, and all of you hear a high-pitched whine.
It's just a hole punch.
Honestly, it kind of is, because this goes wide. You see the shot, and it goes through. You see one of the windows shatter in the SUV going in, glass raining on the crates taken from the scab rats. You see ruined yams everywhere. But
Fuck the yams.
The yams, they sustain.
That is the scab rat's turn. That brings us to you, Bubs, and then Shade, you're on deck.
So I see this happening. I see my good friend Gibbs take a spit on Starchu, and then some combat happening. And I think to myself, all right, this is it, Bubs. This is your moment. And I think in my mind, I picture an unlit candle, and I think every flame starts with a spark.
Fantastic.
And I just keep repeating myself that.
Okay.
And
Adam Price!
And I'm going to charge 5, 10, 15, 30, 40, and attack at the end of my charge.
Okay.
I'm gonna get out of the truck.
Yeah, I'm on top of the truck.
I'm coming in between the tiny alleyway between the truck and the building. Just full speed.
And I'm going to just do one of these hammer fists down, right on Starchu.
And Starchu, who is still shaken.
Which is
8 plus 6.
that
Plus
is
-2.
Do ability checks, attack rolls, saving rolls, and skill checks. Doesn't have anything to do with receiving attacks, really.
14. Does that hit?
14. And this is kinetic.
Yeah.
Bludgeoning.
Which
So
is
yeah,
kinetic. Yeah.
So you
okay.
run up, and with this final hand over hand, you slam down on the shaken Yosoki. Underneath, as you hit, you can feel some elements of armoring beneath the suits. No damage, unfortunately.
Oh.
Alright, that's my turn.
Alrighty. So, Bubs, that leaves you kind of right in the scrum of things. That brings us to the top of the round. Vess, for you, in the sports car, kind of bumping the radio,
Oh, you
you're
got a
getting
sports
relatively
car,
close.
nice.
And by the end of this, you
Oh,
see how there's
nice.
this kind of broad avenue.
yeah.
You are just off the board, maybe by 10 feet.
Here?
Yeah, so you kind of turn a corner. There was a little bit of traffic at the bridge for some reason. It's like somebody had kind of stopped there for a
Sandstorm.
bit, and then there was a shockwave effect that
Yeah.
backed up for a bit.
Super Sandstorm is playing.
Yeah, it's terrific. And then, so you kind of pull around the corner, and as you do, you can see there are a few people running. You can see what looks like a Shiren going towards their scooter, and then you see a gunfight happening. Bullets begin
Talon.
whizzing by, and you're like, "Oh, I found everybody." That is going to bring us to Shade. Spice, you're on deck. Gibbs, you are in the hole.
All right, I'm gonna use my move action to use my combat tracking on Starchu,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna shoot him.
I like how you described that. Thank you. So you turn, and the robotic eye apertures. In your vision, you can see the heads-up display adjusts and kind of zooms in on this individual.
I get his bounty profile
Yeah.
and shit.
You fire the tri-laser. Accidentally clicked that, but there you go. Sound effects.
Cocked. That's math. Okay. 11 plus 7, now plus 3, so plus 8. So 19.
19 hits. Absolutely.
Great.
And for what it's worth, the plating underneath his armor bubs as you hit it definitely designed more with kinetic in mind. It definitely felt like kinetic responsive armor.
That is 7 damage.
7 damage. Which one are you shooting at?
Starchu.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is my turn.
Alrighty. For what it's worth, Starchu is beginning to look pretty rough. He's taken a couple shots now, and already he has this loogie thing on him. He looks a little shaken. He's not looking too great.
Take out the head, the rest of them will float.
Shade whispers to
Hopefully they'll
himself.
drop their weapons.
Spice, from your shelter in the junk, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna shoot with my new weapon
Okay.
at Pikachu.
Okay. You look at Starchu's, and as you do, you level your new weapon. This kind of single-shot revolver.
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's going to be a 22 to hit.
22 hits, absolutely.
Okay.
That's kinetic too, right?
P.
Piercing, kinetic, yes.
Yes.
P.
Oh, I took so
Ooh,
much P
8
damage.
points of damage.
8 points of damage, and that is aimed at whom?
P
At Starchu, right?
Starchu, yes.
8 points of damage. Okay.
Just all
So-
Pokemon names.
You guys, there's this thing, you hear Gibbs shatter out through the window. There is all kinds of different, laser fire. You can see, all of this happening. And suddenly, Spice from behind, kind of taking some time to calculate the shot through the junk, through everything that's happening in the melee. As Starchu backs up and sort of shakes and tries to get this loogie off, you shoot. And your shot goes through, breaking the little elements of glass, superheating and exploding it through the windshield into his arm before it strikes the arm itself. And you see elements of the flesh torn away, the bone protruding out. From where you are, you can smell burning hair and fur. Starch, still hasn't quite registered this yet, but you can see the arm almost dangling off. He is badly hurt. That's a lot of damage. All right. Anything else, Spice?
Nope, that's it for me.
All
I'll
right.
stay where I am.
You duck back down in the junk.
I'm happy with my position.
That was a
here.
nice shot. Gibbs, what would you like to do? The freshies are on deck.
I'm like
I
crouched
take-
down. You're just like, pew.
I take my hand off my belly and it's badly bleeding, and you can see the gray fur is red, and I wipe my cheek where some of his blood is now splashed, and then I draw it across my teeth,
Nice.
and I'm going to cast Mind Thrust
Ooh,
Damn.
I love my
with a
thrust.
-2 penalty because he's shaken.
Nice.
Could he please make a will saving throw as I divine and overload his mind with his most vulnerable thoughts,
Oh my
and he's
god.
only ever going to be able to have this damage.
Sure. For what it's worth, it's a 17 to save.
He saves, but
Okay.
he's going to take half.
Yeah, that was probably the highest that he could roll without having
Damn.
it was 19. As you spit on him, he still has to spit on him, and as you smear it across, you can see the other Yosoki cower back, afraid of you. For him, so furious at having spit on him already and everything, he just grits his teeth through it, unfazed. But go ahead and roll your damage for that, because that might be a little bit more phasing.
10, 9, 19 damage.
Holy
Wow! Well, it's halved.
Okay.
But,
But
plus,
that's still pretty good.
plus my spell stuff.
Yeah, the spell
Probably.
is 19
Yeah,
damage.
shit. It doesn't say plus my spell
I
stuff, so I
maxed
don't know
out
what it
at
is. But,
9.
so 8 damage.
Okay. So when you look through, you can see unafraid is Starchu's. He looks down at you, sneers, and says, "The scab rats will never be anything more." And then you see head explodes. The side of this dark SUV is covered in brain matter and fur, and down goes Starchu's, just dead. The
And
other Yosoki look terrified.
Yeah, I swing my head
Including the scab rats.
towards the one that's as the body goes down, the one that was right behind him that couldn't see me,
Mhm.
and just blood covered and pretty hurt. But I'm just gonna lock eyes and start to start to make my movement forward.
Okay.
But I'm not actually gonna move.
You see big eyes, frightened.
But I
as
want
this
him away
creature.
from that vehicle.
Okay.
So.
That is your turn. That brings us to the freshies. You can see the one that you locked eyes with looks over at the other ones and just goes, "We need to get out. We need to tell Chesterfield." The one that is kind of shaken over there, yeah, he's going to jump in the driver's seat.
What's in the driver's seat? Do they drive on the left?
It's the UK.
Yeah, it's
No,
It's
no,
a
Space UK.
normal driver's
So he has to
seat.
go around.
He's not going to go around. He's going to open the passenger
Open the
door. and just
passenger
slide
side.
through.
Doing Dukes of Hazzard.
And he is.
Excuse me, Gibbs. I gotta get
Yeah.
in. You mind?
You know what?
He's
He
gonna
is
get an
just
attack of
gonna-
opportunity.
Well, okay. So let's resolve it in this order, because it will be funnier this way. So the one who is closest and who was shot at by Odora is going to return fire through the junk. They level their semi-automatic pistol.
This
and
one.
that is going to be, yeah, that one is going to be, that is definitely going to hit.
-2.
Still definitely going to hit. That's like a
No.
23.
Oh, that's a big hit.
Yeah, it is a big hit. Well, the problem is it's not like a great weapon. Because the door is just going to take 4 points of piercing damage. You can see all of a sudden as the shot rings out, Odora ducks down. Spice, near you, there is like wood and glass raining down around you guys. You can
I
see
lean over the
Odora
children.
wince. She kind of like ducks in, all of you guys like packing in. You can see the tails like wrapped around you.
Aw.
That is his turn. The one that is facing off against, I believe, 9. It's going to take a shot at 9. That is going to be, and they're not shaken, correct?
Yeah.
That is going to be a 22 to hit.
Damn. They're getting.
That is going to be.
Throw them all away. Throw
6
all those
damage.
dice away.
So you can hear now they're like shooting and retreating. Now, as his movement action, he's going to run away from 9 and try to get into, or actually, leave him there because cinematographically this is much better. The final one that has not gone yet, shaken. You can see arms like vibrating on the steering wheel. Turns the car on. You hear this. It lifts from the ground, stomps on the accelerator, and those two. I'm basically just playing with my toys. Sorry. Those two in the front of the statue are going to make dexterity saving throws.
These two.
Yeah.
Is he crashing into the fucking statue? That's
No,
amazing.
he's going to hit them
Oh.
as he pulls out into the
Oh,
highway.
so he's like turning this way.
9.
Is this guy in here too? Did the other one get in?
Yes, so they're both in.
Okay, he's in the back seat here.
Like
So they
grabbing onto the top
He
of the
like
car.
covered in like broken yams and everything. You could see 9 and this other freshie just get plowed into.
Oh shit!
That is going to be a bunch
He's
of
getting
damage.
dragged by the.
No, he's not getting dragged. He's not
It's probably underneath the car, if anything.
Yeah.
He's getting dragged
Hover
under the car.
cars. They're so cruel.
Oh man,
Slow down. Let him unhook himself.
that's a half. Okay, so there's this, and you can see almost slow motion. 9's leg twist unnaturally. 9 hits the windshield, hits the top, and then goes over onto the pavement. The Yosoki almost gets kind of worse, hit in the front and gets pushed like 5 feet forward before going under one of the wheels.
Ugh.
Yells out, still not dead, but not doing great. Is that Yosoki?
This guy's just like,
So
what a
as they're
crazy
driving
day.
by, could I have done an attack of opportunity because there was no glass in the window of the car to the driver? It wouldn't have stopped this.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'd like to
yeah.
damage
Absolutely,
him and
you
like
certainly can.
I don't have any weapons because I have no bullets and my emergency flare only had 1 flare in it.
I'm also going to give you a -2 just conditional modifier because it makes sense given the situation.
Great. So I have a -3 to my unarmed strike.
Awesome.
Oh god.
Because that's my only option.
Hey, you know what? Stranger things have happened.
Punch
And
him.
you're missing that
Wow.
tooth, too. Remember?
It's a 3 to hit.
Okay, that is a miss. As this SUV pulls past, you reach out and you punch it. And you just punch a car.
Yeah.
It hurts your paw. Clang! However, this vehicle moves 55 feet forward,
So from here, I don't know, probably somewhere around
right
there.
about there. And so all of a sudden, Vest, your car going immediately on towards this swerving black SUV. The windshield shattered in, bullets riddling the side. You could see, for some reason, like 4 crates of yams almost exploded in the trunk. But this is streaking towards you. That is the Freshie's turn. That is going to bring us to the Scab Rats. 9 is going to crawl over to the other, crawl over there and just try to stab him a couple times with his axe. Oh, that's gonna hit. That's nice. And I got hit by a car.
And he's prone, right?
Yeah. So this one on the ground, you watch as 9 bleeding, leg twisted, pulls themselves with claws across these cobblestones, their tail like helping them forward. They take the hatchet out and just cleave into this guy's neck. You see the gray suit just soaks with crimson. There's like a few spurts, and then he is dead. Yeah. He took a lot of damage from that car hit, and then he took a big hit while he was laying down.
Damn.
So that is, I think, Odora really can't hit anybody. For this turn, Odora is going to turn Spice to you, and you guys can hear the hover car and then tear away. She turns to you and says, "We can't let them reach the freshies. There'll be war." She is going to that's all that she could do. That is her turn. That brings us to Bubs.
Okay.
Bubs, from where you are, you can see the car hauling out.
I can do what is it called? The run action that gives me 4 times my movement speed. And I can make it to the car. Would that be able to? Would I have to do a skill check to get onto the car?
Absolutely, but
Okay.
I love that. Yeah.
Okay.
Just trying to fucking.
This is like the Terminator running after the vehicle and then leaping on at the end. Sure. Make an athletics check. This is fantastic.
What is that? Is it a 4? There's a 4 plus a 3, so a 7.
A 7. You leap out, and as you stretch out, it's as if they accelerate just at that moment, and you belly flop prone on the pavement. With all of your momentum, having run 4 times your movement speed, it's just road rash.
Do you see a big plume of smoke in the air?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not great.
This guy is just having a great view of everything.
Yeah. So
Who is that?
so for what
He's
it is
just a
worth,
random citizen.
for what it's worth, they are holding up their communicator, filming all of that. So you could they got the Bub slide right in front.
Bub's gonna have a whole like YouTube fan page of like
Yeah.
funniest home videos of like this asshole.
For real, there's gonna be like a montage.
It just played the Benny Hills. No.
So Bubs, that is your turn. That brings us to the top of the round, which means Vess, if you would like to roll initiative, please. That massive dice.
I'm gonna giant die.
I love it.
Yay! And then whatever your
Nice.
modifier is.
Yes, it is 15 plus. Oh god, where is it?
This might put you right up at the top, which would be
Yeah.
really handy. It'd be really good if you were above the freshies, because then you would have a really nice. You could do a lot of fun things.
Yeah.
Initiative, plus
17.
17.
Nice.
What is your dexterity modifier? Because you're tying the freshies.
Oh shit!
Yeah, right. My dexterity modifier is +2.
You're going before the freshies.
Wow.
Wow, that's handy.
This is the top
Okay.
of the second round, right?
Uh,
This is the third.
So it would be on your turn. It stops.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so.
Shade, what do you
So
want
you
to
do
do?
this now.
Spice, you are on deck, and then Gibbs, you are in the hole. At the moment this SUV is tearing away, you hear Odora say, "We can't let them get away. It's going to start a war."
30, 40, 50, 60, 70. He's still in range.
Okay.
I'm going to use my move action to change my target lock onto him and
The
try
driver?
to, I'm
Okay.
going to try to shoot him with the long range shot to the face.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shoot out the tires.
There's no tires to hover.
It's a hover car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah, I was like, can I shoot the gas? I don't know. It's
Wait, how does
electric.
a hover car hit somebody? Never mind.
With the front of it. It's an
Well, okay,
SUV.
that's true. That's true.
Oh, it's not looking great. It's a 3 plus like 8.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
you
11.
shift it over, and at the last second, as
Oh,
you're
but
about-
he's shaking.
as you're about to pull the trigger, you see in your like field of view zoomed up, Bubs leap out and then face plant, obscuring your shot. The
I
dust
have to
going up.
shoot wide.
Yeah, you have to shoot up right into the air, right up into the sky. A little pigeon hits the ground. That is your turn, Shade.
Yep. That's
All right,
that's it.
Spice. What do you want to do? Gibbs, you're on deck, and then Vess, you're in the hole.
Okay. I am also gonna try to move closer to them.
Okay.
Oops. And I have expanded telepathy. So,
Okay.
well, that might also not work. Let's see if my.
So first, in heels, you
Let it-
climb
let it
down
out.
and slide through the
be
broken
fine.
glass, through
Yeah.
the school bus, and out into this war zone of a cobblestone street. Or really, like broken pavement. It was nice pavement at one point.
Okay, so what I'm actually gonna do is give Bubs an inspiring boost.
Nice.
Well, I guess.
Get the fuck up, Bubs!
Well, I guess this is only good if you have you taken damage at all?
No.
I've taken hella damage.
Okay, well
And I'm
then,
right there.
Where? Yes. All right. Well, then I'm gonna turn to my side and give Gibbs my inspiring boost. I'm gonna go. This is for your family. We're here for you. Let's fight. And let's see who has taken damage. You regain stamina points equal to twice your envoy level, which is 3,
Nice.
plus my charisma modifier, which is 4, so 7 points.
Stamina healing.
of
That's nice.
Holy
Stamina.
shit.
That's
Nice.
nice.
I can't even do that.
This is one of my envoy improvisations.
Yeah, that's nice.
Mm.
That's it.
Okay.
That's
So
my
in the
movement
smoke and the fire and the broken glass and everything, in the middle of this battlefield with the SUV hauling off, you see one of your lifelong friends struck by a vehicle spiraling off. Through the smoke, there is like this angelic figure in blue. The Spice in high heels crunches through the glass, delivers this inspiring speech, and you feel uplifted. Anything else, Spice?
Physically uplifted. Nope, that's all I can do.
Alrighty. Gibbs, what would you like to do? Vess, you are on deck. And then it is the freshies.
Can we like shoot out the tires or something?
Vess, if it's helpful,
Okay, we
this is
were
the
over
stats
this.
for the hover car, that
Over
the,
this.
I wasn't.
the luxury car that you were in.
Oh, very nice.
Wait, from here.
Oh,
5,
barrel roll.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. To hit this guy, the driver. Alright, so I see Adora hit, not Adora, whatever her name is, 9 hit. I scrambled at the side of the car trying to like scrape my nails in the side, couldn't do it. So I am going to chase after it, doing my 4 pod run,
Okay.
my scamper, and I'm gonna move my 30 feet, my full distance, passing Adora, shooting her a sorry glance, and I am going to mind thrust the driver.
Nice.
Okay,
What a
fantastic.
good.
Um,
That's a great spell.
Yeah, that
It is an awesome spell.
And there's
Good
a
spell.
wave of blood after me because I'm pretty badly hurt.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
But I am going to just like lock eyes with him in the rearview mirror as I
Okay,
cast the
sure.
spell.
What is the save on that? That is
Sure,
a...
it's a wisdom. It's a will save.
Ooh, no, it's not. That is a 7.
Great. He fails. He's gonna take full damage.
Oh, no.
10
Wow.
plus
Oh
2.
shit!
So
Oh,
Oh, nice. That's a big hit.
Yeah, 2 10s on that spell.
Gibbsy.
That's amazing.
Those are some good dice.
Yeah. And they're green for Gibbs.
As he's driving away, you can see he's like bloodied already, squinting through the rearview mirror, squinting through the broken windshield, looking at this brightly colored car streaking towards him. And at that moment, he looks up. You see the eyes flick to the rearview mirror, and you squint. The mirror shatters. And as that happens, you can see he turns, it like gets in his eyes, his mind throbs. He is still alive. But fantastic.
Fine, yeah, we're good.
Anything else, Gibbs?
No, but like my momentum is carrying me forward. I have every intention to chase after this car on
Sure,
foot.
no problem. So Vesson, behind the wheel of your vehicle, the wheel in your hands looking forward, all of a sudden this black SUV screeches out. You see it strikes two Yosoki who go like skidding off onto the road, and then it comes barreling towards you. In this moment, you see the face of the driver, panicked, look in the rearview mirror, and suddenly the head vibrates violently. The glass shatters in front of him, and you can see as he's trying to squint through, there is blood across his face, in his eyes. He could barely see. But what do you want to do?
So just checking here. It's been communicated to me that you guys are in danger.
You did
somewhere?
see me run across. I don't know if you did see
Oh.
me.
You
But
definitely saw Bubs
Okay.
run
I saw
and then
Bubs.
face
And you
yeah.
also see
Okay.
Yeah, Gibbs is
chasing
chasing.
this car.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna try to put in the over thruster.
Okay.
And speed up and try to arc around and then pin the car against the. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Pin the car against the
house?
corner of the house.
Phenomenal.
Nice
Make
little
a
Tokyo
make a piloting.
drift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make
Your
a
Soki
piloting
drift?
check.
So do I do a piloting check?
Yep.
Okay, and then that is should be pretty good. I need my sleek small dice for this one.
The sports car dice.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, come on, where is it? 15.
15? Okay. Go ahead and roll 20-sided die. And you're just trying to roll above an 11.
Okay. 8.
Oh, rough. Okay.
Oh.
So you, I mean, for what it's worth, you hook around and you slam into the vehicle. You do pin it into this, to the side of this. It doesn't do any damage to the vehicle, but you do pin it into the building. You shatter parts of the junk wall, and the vehicle becomes almost embedded into this building.
Nice.
But that is fantastic.
Does
Anything
my
else?
vehicle take damage?
Oh yeah, certainly. So roll 4. It's 5d4, and then you take half that damage.
Okay.
Oh, 5d4 here. I
Oh
got you.
yeah, maybe I'll just do a.
No. Come on. Physical dice. Physical dice.
Physical dice.
which
That's
one's
why
this?
we're
3?
here. It's to
3.
throw
One.
Okay,
dice.
so 8 plus.
Is it only one B?
Nice.
3.
Is it only
3.
one B?
Okay, so
11.
11 points of damage.
11 points of damage.
Or yeah.
So, for what it's worth, it's 11 points of damage.
Total.
So this is how this happens. There is this moment where you lock eyes. You see Bubs sprawl out. You see Gibbs chasing out. You have no idea what's going on, but you make a decision in this moment. You gun the engines in this thing, kicking the overdriver, and slam into the vehicle. The vehicle sorry, I thought that was much more turned down. The vehicle slams into the building, crashing into the junk. You see other Yosoki flee the structure from within. One jumps out of the second story window, kind of scampering down broken pipes and elements of wire. You see one of them shaking, right? Ooh, that sucks. Bad time.
You
Oh,
are
no.
not shaken
Not shaken.
anymore because my turn has
Okay.
passed.
One of them, you see, there's a sound of shattering glass as they were ejected out of the seat, and you would imagine probably dead. That was the one that was originally,
Yeah.
was originally shaken. No, the driver, for what it is worth, still alive. Their eyes have glass in it. You can see blood all across their face. They've taken a bullet wound. They are badly wounded. But because they are in a twisted wreckage of 2 cars, and all of the other hostiles are dead, I am going to take you guys out of combat.
All right. So did I get an insurance policy?
You did.
Oh, did you sign up for it at the
Nice.
kiosk?
I'm like, it's not the first car I've totaled.
I'm gonna run over to 9 there, and sort of like grab her leg in sort of a practice swift motion and start to like reconnect the bones to her. She's gonna be in a lot of pain, but it's gonna feel better in a minute.
Yeah, so you do that. You almost like push 9 to the ground. She's trying to stagger forwards towards this car. You skid on all 4s and reverse directions to get over to 9. And in one motion, go ahead and what are you doing for healing?
I'm gonna do my heal all allies
Oh, okay.
because I can. So anyone within 30 feet, including myself, will get 2d8.
So
We'll
there's gonna
get
be
6 plus 7
Bubs
is
and
13.
9 and yourself.
Yes. So 13 hit points.
I didn't lose any.
Okay, well,
Your pride is healed as you get up.
Yeah, my
Your pride is healed.
The scabs on your knees.
I probably have resistance to ego being hurt at this point.
I think it's more of like a general lack of awareness. You know, it's not so much resistance, but yeah.
Oblivious nature.
So it's okay because it's just us two anyway. So it's a small, intimate healing session.
And you do that. You pop the leg back into the socket. 9 winces, but doesn't yell out. She pulls herself up using you as support and begins to limp towards the SUV. She stops and turns back. We need to make sure he's dead. Continues forwards. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna go up to the car as well, and I'm gonna just the windshield's pretty much broken in the front, right?
Shattered.
Okay.
There was one part that was broken from laser fire. The other half was shattered when the passenger was ejected outward.
I imagine it's probably easier to take him out of the windshield than try to mess with the door.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna lift him right out and put him right in front of everyone in front of the passenger seat door. Is he gonna fight me with this, or can I?
No,
just...
he's dazed.
Okay.
So you reach into the passenger seat, you rip him out of the front of the windshield. One of the windshield wipers snaps off as you do so. You haul him across the hood and just sit him down on the ground outside.
I'm gonna stop 9 short before the murder in her eyes kills him, and be like, he's got some information. You're right. I never should have left, and I'm sorry that I did. It's clear you need me, and if they had gotten back, they would have brought the war to you, and I don't know what option we have to get you out of this except fight.
We need to get that car off the street. We need to get him off the street. We can figure out what to do with them then. Come on. And she kind of begins to hobble back towards that area. You could see Bubs hauling the person out and sitting them down. This really messy Ahsoki. You may have seen them around. You don't know them especially well, but this is Sun is their name. Kind of yellowish fur.
I'm gonna say to Gibbs, as we're doing this, what about, the witnesses? Can we be sure the word won't get out?
I think the word that should get out is that this status quo isn't okay. And we're gonna take the fight to the freshies now.
Looking around, you can see there are eyes and tails and teeth and all kinds of things just looking out from the various windows and shutters and areas between the junk here. And everybody is very interested in what you are saying, certainly.
Well, if there's a fight to be had and you're in it, then I'm with you, Gibbs.
At this, Tobin kind of reaches over to where you guys are. Hearing what you're saying, Tobin says, I didn't think that we could do it before, but maybe. But we need to get everything off. Chesterfield, he can't find out about this.
Not yet. Bubs, can you grab that guy, secure him, bring him back to the scab rats? Vess, can you move the cars, yours and the other one? Shade, can you collect the weapons from all the bodies?
I'm all the way over here still.
I'm yelling, it's really loud.
At this, you can see there is... go ahead and make a diplomacy check also.
Going out to assess everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good at this. 14 plus 7.
Damn.
From the building that you can see that bystander is sitting near, although she is long gone now, a door opens up and you can see kind of a more rotund Yosoki, balding near the top with like longer kind of fur that goes down, almost like a friar kind of like haircut. But he comes over, he's wearing some suspenders, and he says, I run this grocery store, and if you want, you can hide that van in here. I saw what you guys did. I don't think things should be like this either.
Appreciate it.
And you can see he goes back in, and outside where your motorcycle is parked, Shade, there is like these big garage doors which begin to open up.
Right here.
And so, Vess, you can hide the van in there if you wish.
Alright. So I'll probably park this over here.
Okay.
And then move the...
Van with the body still in it?
And it takes you a couple tries to get this thing going. You actually have to like get out and fiddle with it a little bit because this thing is badly damaged. When you pinned it into the wall, The elements of the hover coils near the right side are completely gone. So when you pull this around, it is more of like a
One of the sides is like
as
a
you
little
like
lower.
scrape up
Grinding
elements.
outside.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have a flat tire basically. But you do
Down to
manage
here.
to get it into what looks like a
Is this
communal
like-
kitchen.
Oh, that is okay. I was like, is that like a table?
It's like a big pot.
Okay.
Yeah, on a bunch of wood that's not lit yet. But no problem. You get the SUV in there as full of holes as it is.
Nice.
Feeling a little better and a little healed. I'm gonna escort 9 to our home,
Mhm.
and then ask sort of the other scab rats that are there to start like cleaning up the bodies, the other bodies of like Star Chews and everything, and
As you get back, you can see they're already going through their belongings, taking off their clothes. You see like weapons being pulled aside. There's like a little, what looks like at one point a very brightly colored beach towel that has been laid out, and everything is being like laid out on there to be kind of gone through later.
nice.
But yeah, they're
Scavengers rule.
all absolutely.
I'm gonna take this Shoki and I'm gonna bring him into this building
Okay.
where everyone's cleaning.
You walk him through the broken glass in the street, and as you do,
He's hunched over my shoulder too.
okay, yeah, you feel him kind of shift, coming to a little bit more as you walk. From behind, you feel his head turn, and he goes, "You should let us go now. Chesterfield's gonna kill all of you."
You think I'm afraid of you?
Not of me. And he kind of like loses consciousness for a second and blinks back. He's in rough shape. But you got him inside the building.
I'm gonna sit him down, and I'm gonna look at him and just give him this glare and crack my knuckles and go, I just cleaned this suit, and I don't want to clean it again. And then as I crack my knuckles, I'm gonna look and go, well, I mean, it could use another cleaning, to be honest, but that's not the point. You're gonna talk.
Make an intimidation check with a -2 situational modifier for that second little.
What +2, man? That was good.
It was so good up until the
Yeah,
end.
exactly. It was the last part. It was about to be a +2. Yeah.
9 plus 5, 14.
14. Okay. You can see he looks up. The eyes, one of them like completely the pupil dilated, the other not. Probably like brain damage here. But he looks up at you and just kind of shakes his head. What do you want to know?
I want to know who's the link between Chesterfield and Rentropy, the female everyone's talking about. You know who I'm talking about.
Aclama. She worked for them before. She's the link for all of us. But the rest of us don't work for Rentropy. We work for Chesterfield.
And where can we find her?
You can see he kind of looks around at all of you. Doesn't respond.
You gonna rough him up or what?
Yeah.
Do you want me?
No.
Do you want me to come and help you rough them up?
I know how to rough people up.
I like to imagine that this is a conversation happening like right in front of us.
Yeah, like spice and shit on either side of you. Like,
I'll
let's
walk
get
up and
it.
be like,
Very, very
do you
psych.
need help with your interrogation?
I'm gonna think back to Steele and how he taught me how things worked on the street, and I'm gonna make you not so pretty anymore, buddy. And I'm gonna give him a right to the face.
Yeah, roll damage. You don't have to roll an attack for that. He is incapacitated essentially.
Probably works better for him if he gets knocked out at this point.
Probably.
Not good for us, but good for him.
Oh,
Gets to
well, I
like
do so much
begin the
damage.
healing
Oh, I
Yeah,
forgot
you're
about
built
this.
for this.
I forgot I do so much damage.
Do you do
No.
non-lethally?
3 plus 8.
Jeez.
Yeah.
+8? Oh my God.
Yeah, because
You
I
reach
took
back
melee
and
striker.
feeling as you reach back, you see all of like the dirt and grime on your armor, and whereas before it was going to be just this intimidation, you feel anger. And you hit him much harder than you mean to. And as you hit him, there is this crack, and he hits the ground. It begins bleeding. And you see blood trickling from the nostril, a little bit from the ear. He is certainly in the process of dying. That was a hard hit. He had 2 health.
Oh,
I gave you the right. Now here comes the left. If you don't tell me.
I'm gonna like put a hand on Bubs and be like, Bubs,
wait.
you need to learn how to control the amount of power that you put into your punch. He's already dead.
But he hurt Gibbs.
He's dying. He is actively dying.
You can see there's just this repetitive twitch in the leg and the hip.
That is the
very
body of
unnatural.
a person in a death throes.
I'm gonna push Shade aside.
ROES.
I'm gonna ask again. Where can we find her?
Bubs, they're resisting your questioning.
He cannot answer you. He is completely unconscious.
Oh,
On the verge of death. That is what I'm trying to tell you.
oh. Sorry, sometimes I don't know my own strength.
That's what I just told you, yes. You need to work on that. And then I'm gonna go and like check on the body. He's still got a pulse?
Yeah, but it's thready. I mean, he's gonna die if there isn't like a medical intervention. This is like brain.
I don't have any medical proficiencies, but can I do like a medicine check?
Of course you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can try to stabilize.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stabilize this guy.
For the rest of you watching around in the streets, you can see
He's like,
after Gibbs spoke out a little bit and you saw this guy come out and volunteer the use of his store, several other Yosoki come out and are helping with this cleaning process. Seemingly at least a little bit moved by Gibbs' speech.
that was a 10.
Okay. You bend down, you see this body, and all bodies are roughly the same, probably,
Can I use my move action to change my combat tracker to him to get his vitals and stuff?
So the first thing you do is you feel for a pulse, and it's thready. You can feel like a rapid heartbeat that kind of fades a little bit and then comes back. So you look around, and you've been told to put pressure on the wound. You look and you can see the head, like blood coming out of the nostril and the ear. So you kind of reach down and try to push the head towards the concrete, hoping to stabilize it. You feel like a little fracture in the skull shift and kind of give a little bit. The pulse stops for a solid 5 seconds and then resumes. But that's going to be a failed death saving throw for sure.
Damn.
Oh.
I toss. I don't want to toss you shit. I don't got shit to help this guy. I'm not gonna help him.
And for what it's worth, not a single scab rat is lifting a finger to help this person as they bleed out in the junkyard.
Do you know when I get my spell slots back?
I'm still in the.
Do I try again?
While that's going on, I'm.
What was that?
I'm over here in this building still, right?
Yeah,
Parking
so you
the car.
park
Okay.
the van. You can easily, you can get out and walk across, no problem. You can join them whenever you want.
I'm gonna grab like Tobin and Nine and all of my relatives and start like trying to figure out what weapon goes best with what person based on like whatever they've got or found. I'm also gonna put in the pile my acid dart rifle, and my unloaded flare gun, just to like have it there to choose from if there's flares or anything.
So,
Laminated cards. Ooh.
Do
Ooh.
like new weapons. That is a nice drop, a tasty drop of weapons.
Kinda how you
I
level up
see.
in this game, you know?
Yeah.
Loot corpses.
Weapons and
so in addition to what you see to be 4 semi-auto tactical pistols,
Yep.
you see there is a Jacinto brand survival knife.
Yep.
There is a hatchet of some kind,
Yep.
like a survival hatchet. Also scattered amongst them, probably you could salvage 1 set of Freebooter Armor 1. There is several sets of field rations. 2 of these Yosoki had minor intoxicants on them.
Nice.
One of them had a pair of dust goggles. One has a canteen. There is a lighter on one of them, and each of them has a personal communicator, although all but one of them probably destroyed. And that is what you would find.
Cool. Everyone continue outside of me.
So I'm gonna be doing a search of the vehicle.
Sure, yeah.
So-
Make an investigation check or a perception check. I think it is.
Yeah, right. Well, if I be that. Hold on, my character sheet's gone haywire.
No worries. They do that, unfortunately.
You know, I should have brought the printed out one.
This isn't an improvement for you in any way, right?
I
Oh.
can only do small arms right
These
now.
are all
Yeah,
small
level
arms.
1. No, unfortunately.
I didn't think so. That's okay.
Rats. Shoot.
So,
Rat.
perception, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's a natural one.
These are definitely
A
not
natural
gonna be any
one.
So
improvement.
10.
So you open the door, and as you
Do you need a weapon?
it is almost like a fist-sized chunk of brain just hits the ground.
If you don't need it,
And as
I
you
prefer
open
to
the
have it
door,
back.
there's just gore and like disgusting smashed yams that have mixed with this.
Oh.
It is foul, and you're like, you know
Okay.
what? Nope. You shut the door.
No,
Not
I think
worth
it's
going through.
about the same.
Okay. So, Orphan has her swords,
Uh,
or Orphan swords were taken from her.
Orphan. So Orphan has a
Yes.
magical sword. This sword was taken from Orphan.
Mm.
At the moment, Orphan has, if you ask her, she'll show you, she has a what looks like a curved carbon steel blade, which she has managed to get a hold of in its absence. Like a fancy dagger.
Orphan, we're gonna get your sword back. Don't worry. Does anyone else have things like decent looking weapons like that weapon is?
So in terms of weapons, from what they have amongst them,
Like a Dora.
Adora has what is called a diffraction perforator pistol.
Is that better or worse than any of these?
Worse, probably.
Then I will give her one of these.
What's this one with no range?
9
It's a
has a
Oh, of
additional
course.
hand axe similar to the one that you have,
Okay.
although a different make.
Because there's enough to give everyone one.
Yeah.
And then there's one that's X. Great. Keep talking amongst yourself while I do this.
I'm gonna try to do a medicine check on
Yeah,
it.
go for it.
The way I'm gonna do this is I'm going to take out a non-hand sanitizer wipe. I have other wipes,
Okay.
guys.
You've diversified your collection.
Yeah. And I'm gonna pour like a little water from like a canteen on it, like a cool water. I'm gonna put it on his head, and I'm gonna just try to like apply some kind of pressure with some bandages around like his face area.
Yeah, make a medicine check. Remember the microphone too.
Yep.
Just as a reminder.
5.
5. So, Shade, you bent down, putting a pressure on the head. You see Gibbs come over, start to panic a little bit because the pulse is being lost. Gibbs, you see there is like a bullet
Bubs.
wound.
Bubs,
Sorry. Bubs. There's like bullet wounds on the torso. There's all kinds of damage to this guy. So you go for the nearest injury and you kind of take the watery bandages, mash it into the chest. You feel the heart stop. You'd imagine this individual is gone. No real experience.
My combat tracker just goes.
Yeah, you just managed to focus right as you hear beep, 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 right as you lose it. But target eliminated.
Well, rip.
So everyone's gonna get a gun.
Okay.
You guys have better guns than what they get. Hoagie is gonna get the hatchet though.
Okay.
So Hoagie's getting the hatchet. Tobin is getting the better gun, and I'm gonna
Okay.
give it with like. Here you go.
Tobin takes this weapon and says, "This is a good start. We didn't think we were ever going to be able to do anything. It was beginning to look hopeless."
And it probably still is. We're probably still vastly outnumbered, even with my friends and our resources.
Well, we need more help. You know, the Freshies have tanks. They have armor. And Akuma, if that's who's helping, she's more than just a scientist. She's evil. She has bad intentions. She always does. I think all of you need to get out of here for a little while. And we can figure out what to do next. But we need to make plans.
I would agree. We should not be implicated in this.
But if I leave and I come back and you're slaughtered and in the street, what hope is that?
Well, I think they'll probably bury us. But
I'd only hope they'd have that much dignity, but they'd only bury you so that no one could scavenge all the good parts of you.
we just have to hope, I guess. We move the vehicle, we move the bodies, and we've always tried to look after our own. As long as there wasn't any other witnesses, we should be okay.
There was no other, like, town... I thought all the townspeople were, like, helping clean up the scene.
It seems like they were, yeah.
Well, how about we rally the townspeople? Spike says.
What's
Turn
time gonna
to
do?
you. Well, they're going to be looking for outsiders. There are 4 of the Freshies missing now.
I would agree. We should all regroup and plan ahead if you really want to have any effect on this situation, Gibbs.
You think that they're gonna die down and lose interest and forget about this? You
They're
think?
not going to forget.
Then what's the point of waiting?
To
We're
become
here.
prepared.
We need weapons.
We're-
This is nice, but it's not going to pierce a tank.
Where can we get a tank, even with the time we have?
Does Harbinger owe us a favor?
Perhaps it doesn't need to be all-out war,
It feels like it needs to be all out war.
but you need to consider alternatives.
Perhaps
Attacking now would be irresponsible, to say the least.
maybe we could seek out this Alchemon. I don't know. Try to convince her of something or do something. I don't know.
We saved a Rentropy ship on our way here. You guys, Nine was mad at me about it.
That's good.
We could.
Yes, now, I mean, I don't think that Rentropy really wants to be associated with Chesterfield and his group. I think that's the function of Chesterfield. He couldn't have gotten to where he is on his own.
Which is why I would suggest we attempt to keep our business with Rentropy separate from your family's business with Chesterfield.
If we take out just Chesterfield, they're just gonna put in another figurehead, right? Like, that's not gonna solve the problem here.
Probably. I mean, Chesterfield, you remember him.
Yeah, he was kind of a grunt.
He was no different than Starchew.
Well, he'll die no differently as well, but I am tired and sort of maxed out right now. My jar looks a little low.
We should get back to the ship and try to configure a plan so that we can approach
Are we
this
trying to build an
delicately.
army?
Isn't the ship kind of far, though?
And we need to head north. That's why we got the...
We also
Truck.
need to be looking for the 4-armed assassin. This is
This is more
Totally
important than a
irrelevant.
bounty, though.
I
Bounty's not going to give us the
understand.
resources to buy a tank. If that bounty was to do that,
I think you're fixating too much on the tank aspect of everything,
well,
Gibbs.
tank's really scary. I'm like an eighth of the size of a tank. I'm like a 16th of the size of a tank.
I was gonna say, that's optimistic.
Gibbs feels big right now, but also very scared.
Ooh.
I've never even driven a tank. I don't think I've even seen a tank.
Shay's a pilot. He can
I-
do it.
Again, I don't think the tank aspect is the most concerning situation here. It's more about the one in control of the tank. And you're not going to be able to do anything by dying under the wheel of one of those tanks.
But I'm angry now.
Yes. Yes.
At this,
Use
you can
that
see
anger.
Nine limps up. Still kind of definitely healed, but there is some lasting effects from being hit by a SUV. She kind of limps up and she says, "Finally, you understand. This is what we've all been feeling." She goes over and she very hesitantly kind of puts a paw on your arm. "But this is more than any of us have done so far. If you leave now, maybe you can find some way to help. People to help, resources. Chip in crumbs and credits, and that's nice, but weapons." She kind of holds up the hand axe. "This is what's really going to help."
I will send you every bullet that I get for as long as it takes. And take one of their comms and we can register it so you can stay in touch. I don't want to come home to a battlefield that I wasn't part of.
So they take one of the comms, and after like a little bit of fiddling, manage to figure out how to change the settings enough so that this is now their comm device. You can add Tobin to your contact list.
What's the safe word for the rebellion, everybody? What are we gonna use as our, like, word for the rebellion?
Fuck Rentropy.
I feel like that one's a little bit obvious if we yell that into space.
I want my home back.
What about a symbol?
What? Assembles? That would work, but I feel like that's pretty general.
The Scabrats have one. It's like a little paw, but it's like got like a kind of like a cut through it.
I like it.
Okay, I like that.
The
I think we
symbol of
should.
the
Like raise our
Scabrats.
hand or something,
Sure.
Have
and that will be the symbol for
more meaningful
Maybe not
discussion.
raise our
Scabra. Yeah,
hands.
wait,
maybe
a little
not that
bit
one.
different. I mean, this is a different world now.
That's fair enough. I'm not gonna.
That was on Earth. We're on a different planet now.
Wow, that escalated really quickly.
Yeah, sorry. It's like, ah.
You guys went from let's move on to let's cut our hands.
Alright.
We should discuss this more meaningfully, and
I just want to have like a symbol or a phrase that I can like yell across the universe, and you know the allies will know. But it'll be like a code word. Maybe
Tobin
I don't
nods
know.
at this and says, I think it's a little dramatic, but it's not a bad idea to have some way of recognizing other people if we are gonna change
Who's on our
things.
side? Who's on the
Let's-
Scabrat team?
Let's think on that.
Okay.
We can reach out and we can communicate.
I'll text you. Does his comm have a selfie feature?
It has a camera.
That means yes.
Yes, that does, unfortunately.
Before I leave, I'll show Tobin how to take selfies, and we'll
Okay.
take one together.
Excellent. You take a selfie with Tobin. You can add that to your comms memory
Yeah.
data base. So you do that.
What time is it during the day at this point?
So that entire shootout began. Give me 1 second. At about 1 p.m. So
it
right
all
now,
happened so fast.
getting
Okay.
around 2:30 in the afternoon.
And how long does it take to go north to the port city that we have to go to?
From Junkfall, only about 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a city. It's like a little fishing village.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I had a perfectly valid excuse to stop by when they ask you questions. I legally got all of the equipment. Well, not the guns, obviously, but the food and the toiletries and all that.
I think we're gonna try to avoid saying that you guys came through at all.
That would be wise.
Alright.
I would go back out the way you came, and if you're going north, you said,
Right, we've got a bounty up north.
get on the highway and just go. Try to get out before word of these folks goes missing gets out, just because they're going to try to stop people from leaving here. Would be my guess. Thank you.
I'm keeping the knife.
Okay.
We should go.
Let us go then.
Oh, I guess we're gonna leave Vess's car then, right? Or
Because your car's not drivable.
Well,
It's drivable.
only,
Oh, is it?
It's only half damage.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
you know,
half
it's-
the HP, which means it should be totally like functional. I think.
yeah,
Okay.
the SUV was not very functional, but yeah, your car is okay. It certainly looks the part. Yeah.
It is going to be a bit suspect.
You're not getting the deposit back.
The other thing is
on
there's
the
only one.
rental.
It's a two-seater,
It is a
but
two-seater.
it does work. Yeah.
But that's okay. We'll return it
let's
to the
ride.
kiosk and
And you'll pick me up.
yeah,
guess
we'll
at
go
the
to the
kiosk.
kiosk, return our things, but
Yeah,
we'll
we've
go
got
all the way
a-
to
We've got
port.
a truck, we've got a bike,
Yeah,
and we've
yeah.
got a sports car. We have plenty of vehicular transport.
Well, why turn it in at all yet?
No,
Why
we're
not?
We're gonna take it 45 minutes north.
I can try to repair it when we get there.
Yeah.
let's get going, guys. It's getting late.
Yeah,
One o'clock
I'm
already.
walking over to the motorbike, and getting ready to take our convoy out.
Okay.
I'm gonna say goodbye and like nuzzle everybody, but I will climb into the driver's seat of the truck.
Okay. No problem. You get into
Oh,
the truck.
And I transfer 800 credits, all of my credits, to the comm of
Tobin?
Tobin's comms.
No problem.
I'm gonna be in the truck as well. And while I'm alone with Gibbs, I'm gonna say, Gibbs, I never really had much of a family, but the way I look at it, it's kind of like cards. It's the hand you're dealt, and it seems like you got a pretty good hand here.
I did for a while, and the people are good, but my deck of cards used to be pretty big, and now I've only got a little bit.
Well, you know, the good thing about cards is you can always draw more. And I'm gonna like, can I do like a pat on the back, but then realize I don't like touching people, and then I'm like, ugh.
Oh yeah, one of those like
Hover hand.
But
Yeah.
as his hand's like over my head, I definitely like nuzzle into it. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. And you get nuzzled by a recently disinfected Gibbs.
I thought you were gonna try to pull out a deck of cards.
It's nice
Like a
that it was recently
magic trick.
disinfected though. That's good.
Yeah.
Recently disinfected and then like magically soiled.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't mind the nuzzle as
Yeah.
much. I kind of like it a little.
Yeah. I'm like a gross cat.
So Mosaic Team 5, are you hitting the road?
Let's hit the road.
Yes. Leaving most of my resources behind.
So,
No problem.
Shade, are you? Not Shade. Bess, are you taking
Who's
that car?
riding with me? Anyone?
Well, Spice went in the back of the truck and she's flipping her cards around because she actually has a deck of cards.
Oh.
Yeah, while she's overhearing your
We should
conversation.
do a poker night sometime.
Yeah, she does.
So you guys form a convoy, the truck,
Doing like card tricks.
then the sports car, and then Shade riding kind of alongside.
Driving the truck though, I would like to bulldoze over the Chesterfield statue as we leave.
Okay.
With the undamaged truck.
Okay. Could you pass me
Smash.
back that card that you have? It just also has the hover truck stats on it. I just need to see the.
Oh
Let
my goodness.
me see that. real
I'm
quick.
sure it's not. It's a statue. It's already been
Smash!
cracked by some bullets.
So go ahead, roll a d20.
The truck becomes an operable.
14.
14.
Nice.
Okay. So very Spice peacefully in the back seat, just shuffling these cards. You have Shade beginning to ride up behind you. You can see in the rearview mirror. Bubs, you are now just kind of like okay, just kind of like holding your hand. All of a sudden, all of you are propelled back in your seat as Gibbs revs the engine and slams into the statue. Go ahead and roll 6d8.
Nice.
See if you get through it.
7.
I'm not doing the addition, so I hope you are.
Oh, wait. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19. Plus 6 is 25 damage to the
Nice.
statue, I assume.
So you slam into it, hitting the leg and completely breaking it off. You
Nice.
careen through, you lose part of your mirror, the door dents inwards. For the rest of the trip, there's going to be like a howling whistle as the air streaks by. But you do see in your rear view mirror the statue lean and then fall, leaving just part of the leg standing on this podium, the rest crumbling into the ground.
Nice.
Goddamn drunk drivers. And I don't keep
Thematic
going.
exit.
Whatever.
Just behind you. So no problem. You guys pull out and onto the open road. And for that, we'll just do some this. However, because it is 7:46 and a good place to take a break, this is where we're going to step away for just a moment before we continue on our trip on the coastal road for about 40 minutes into Port Macready, where a circus awaits. Supposedly. So, thank you for hanging out with us so far. It is 7:46. We will be back right around, we'll say 8 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Nice.
howdy, folks. Welcome back to Mosaic Team 5. If you're just joining us, we had a shootout in the streets of Junkfall, a Yosoki junk town, home to Gibbs. You quickly turn the tides on the Freshies, this rival gang of Yosoki. As they tried to make a getaway in their SUV vests, showing up from the spaceport, you rammed your luxury car into them, pinning them into one of the structures. Bubs, you dragged the lone survivor out, one of the two ejected and basically pancaked into a wall, but the other one you dragged into the Scab Rat tenement building, and there interrogated him just a little bit too hard. You destroyed his brain from the outside, and with Shade and you providing what could constitute more torture than medical aid, managed to stop his heart completely.
This is mercy killing.
We tried our best.
In a way. Gibbs, you spoke in the street about a need for change, and in doing so seemed to inspire elements of the citizenry around you to assist in hiding evidence of this shootout. Vest took the van, parked it in this kind of grocery store communal cooking space. The rest helped remove the body. You looted, distributed weapons to your clan members, and then the rest of you spoke a little bit about what to do. There was a brief talk about an instant rebellion and uprising, but calmer heads prevailed, and all of you, deciding to lay low for the time being at least, and perhaps foment a rebellion later, headed out in your various vehicles north. On your way, Gibbs, you smashed the Chesterfield statue in the middle, damaging your truck quite badly. You would imagine all of you paying a little bit more for your rentals than you bargained for, but you make your way out and onto the highway, with the Ocean of Serpents off and to your left, what would be north. Go ahead.
Real quick before the scene begins,
Yeah.
can I make the forearm assassin my bounty? My
Absolutely.
background thing,
Yeah,
my
for
target?
sure. So as this is all happening, you can see Bubs uses his comm, begins to type a couple things in, and for you, Bubs, you're kind of going through some of the chat rooms that you're familiar with, beginning to kind of poke and prod and see what information you can find. You begin to drive. This is going to be about 40 minutes on this highway. Very little bit of traffic until you get a little bit closer, and then you do see there seems to be a little bit of a jam towards the entrance. But is there anything that you all want to do over the course of this drive?
Just keeping an eye out.
Okay.
Kind
No
of.
problem.
Is this a good time to text Liddell about that text that he sent me?
You absolutely can, yeah.
Can I reread that text message?
Yes, give me one moment because it's in last week's notes. Turn your engine down a little bit here. Alrighty. So last week, you received a text from Liddell. Oh, I have the worst mouse in the history of mice. Sorry about this.
I
Okay.
probably could have written it down, but I just wrote down
I can-
Liddell text and circled it.
You open up your comm. You look. It says, "Not bad, Spice.
Transport pack.
Say, would you and your crew be interested in transporting some cargo? Not an official mission or anything, and it's just a few crates. Your ship could easily accommodate them. It's so easy and would pay so well, you wouldn't even need to mention it to that peep fellow."
What's in the crates, Liddell?
So you sent that last week.
Okay.
You have not received a response. Do you want to send another message, or what are you
Yeah, I
trying to
just
do?
want to send like question mark, question mark, question mark.
Ooh, the dreaded double text.
Spice has no fucking shame when it comes to this. Or ever.
Triple
Make a diplomacy check.
Sure thing.
How much diplomacy can 3 question marks have?
We're about to find out.
I love this.
They're the most diplomatic question
It's
marks.
sad because I think as like the diplomatic officer, I'm pretty sure you guys have like the same. Oh, that's not a D20. Where am I?
Playing on hard mode.
Nice.
I just want to. I don't know if it's visible on the combat
23?
cam, but can you see that massive?
Wait, no,
dice
that
on
doesn't make
there?
any sense. 21.
That's so large, so large and unnecessary. Okay, 21. You said.
Yep.
With a 21, You send the most diplomatic of question marks. You put right at the end. It was a 20 with the 3 question marks, but the 21 is you put that little emoji with the
Oh yeah,
guy.
the like
the
thinking.
thunk.
Yeah.
That's what really pushes it over. A little text bubble pops
Yep.
up. You can see you definitely got a response from Lydell. So as you're driving, maybe like 5 minutes goes by, and then your comms goes off. You read a message that says, can't get into specifics. Let's just say the crates are small enough that long arms wouldn't fit.
Okay, where do I pick them up?
A couple minutes goes by. The response is, you know where I work.
Okay. And she doesn't respond.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything over the course of this drive?
Driving this motorcycle?
Sure, no problem.
I'm on manual, but every time there's a little bit of traffic, I just lay on the horn. Just with my big U-Haul, because I want to get where we're going as fast as possible, and I want everyone to move over for me.
No problem.
I'm
And sure
mad.
enough, as you end up getting a little bit closer, there is traffic. You begin to kind of realize that was a loud horn.
Yeah,
that was
I
somebody
was-
right next to you, just getting real mad. But there is traffic. As you draw close, seeing elements of the city or the town now in front of you, it is a little port town. Let me turn down some of these.
I'm walking in.
Yeah, you just see there's like a guy crossing.
Hey, fuck you!
But
Screeching rat noises.
give me 1 second. Let me pull up McCready here. So there is a traffic jam. You can see Port McCready is a pretty small little fishing village. The one thing that it is mostly known for is it has a large fairgrounds that can be used for a variety of different things. And near Rat King, it's used to host state fairs. The Great Giftmas Flea Market every year is held here. There are farmers markets. There's a Renaissance fair that happens occasionally. However, currently, Port McCready, and as you near, you can see a banner up for something called Mesmerelda's Carnival. If you want, Gibbs, you being from the planet, you can go ahead and make a culture check.
16 plus 8
Nice.
is
24.
24.
Okay. You've never been, however, you have heard plenty. Mesmerelda is a Lashunta. Very strange and in this kind of carnival setting, always wears pale makeup, glitter, elaborate. Think like Harley Quinn kind of.
Yeah.
She typically wears shades of like mint green, and her carnival is very much just that. There's typically a show that is held every night, all kinds of different acts. You know, think about your standard circus performers,
Right.
trapeze
Cirque
artists.
du Soleil.
Yeah, not quite that artistic, I would say. Additionally, give me 1 moment. As you are drawing closer off to the right, you still need to pass through town and then hook around to get to the fairground proper. You can see there are little, and still being about 3 o'clock, it's probably about 2 hours till it gets there. Let me turn these horns down a little bit for you.
Thanks, sorry.
There's one set of them that's just so loud.
Yeah.
And it's the frantic car horns. That's the ones that do it. Okay. And the 2017 car horns too. So you can see little stalls going up for games. You see like big trash bags of stuffed animals being like put into them. There are people in all kinds of colorful costumes. You see a clown. You see strange alien creatures being led by trainers. There is larger structures going up. You can see what looks like the finishing touches being put on the annual Tunnel of Love, which is a guided. They are the large carp-like creatures that live in the oceans.
Yeah.
Boats that are shaped like that, paddle boats
Right.
that go through.
You guys have already had your date. Chill out.
There are all kinds of
What
different.
about number
things.
2?
There are games. There are little food stalls going up. but certainly causing a little bit of traffic. This adds maybe another 20 minutes on, but before too long, you make your way into the actual fencing of the structure, and you find yourself in Port Macready, which is a very, very small fishing town. Mostly known for a canning factory that works on some of the eel species that come in off the ocean of serpents, or the ocean of...
Pacific Ocean?
Sorry, say again?
Pacific Ocean, you said?
No, the Petrific Ocean is on the
Petrific
other side.
Okay.
This is a larger body of water to the north. There is also like a general store. There's it's the ELC. That's what it is. There's the ELC docks, and that is kind of what you see in the small little town in front of you. Traffic chokes the streets, and you can see everybody kind of getting ready for this carnival. Definitely causing an influx of traffic.
I'm gonna call Shade on the comms.
Okay.
Because I'm at the front of the caravan.
Sure.
Beep,
Beep beep beep
beep,
beep.
beep, beep, boop, beep, boop, 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 boop.
I'm not gonna add the sound effects. You guys are doing it for
And
me.
I'll conference call in Vess. I can do that.
You certainly can.
2255 or whatever. I can do it.
So for all of you,
Bring.
you hear your comms go. One by one, you can see in this like 3-dimensional Zoom call, the different faces appear.
So we're looking for the bounty. Are we stopping here at the carnival to get information? All we had is this town and a 4-armed bandit attacking Rentropi's stuff. Or
We
just
should
parking?
find a place to get a room and make a plan, which may prove pretty
This
difficult.
is a pretty small town and there's a big influx. We can try.
We should find somewhere to go sit down and make a plan.
We're sitting in the car. Let's talk right now.
Well, I guess we could discuss it while we're sitting here in traffic.
Yeah, I'll roll up my window. No one can hear me now.
Especially over these loud ass car horns.
I'm excited for this carnival. I've never been to one. It's so exciting, guys.
We're not here for the carnival.
Bubs
We're
and
here for
Spice
the
are like
four-armed
looking at the
assassin.
carnival through the window.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, like little kids.
Yeah.
Shade, how best to get info on this bounty so it can be done and over with?
Well,
Guys.
my assumption right now would be that
Bubs make
if
culture
the
check.
4-armed assassin were to attack, it would most likely happen sometime during the carnival.
Why? The carnival's not sponsored by Rentropy, right?
As far as you know,
Yeah,
no,
it's-
Mesmerelda is the
It's
entrepreneur.
existed. I've
11.
eaten stale popcorn from this carnival long before Rentropy ruined my life. They ship it in. It's great.
Okay.
Should I do a cultures check? Or is it different?
So specifically, that was because as part of Bubs' background,
Oh.
he's able to kind of passively gather some information on bounties. So that was
I see.
more a culture check for the internet.
I
That was
got
doing
it.
some work on his behalf.
Sure. I thought we were just culture checking the carnival.
If you would like to, you certainly can.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah,
While we're
anybody
here.
who wants to can. Most of you who are from off-world, this is a very local event, so the DC is quite high. But the
I got-
Infosphere exists, and so you may have heard of it.
I don't know if
Oh my
I
God, 21?
should even bother
21?
trying.
You pull up your comm, and as you're looking, you know, you're right outside a festival. You're like, oh man, what kind of rides are there? You pull up the information. You can see there are all kinds of different acts, but today in particular, at 5 o'clock, the circus should open, so in about an hour. And then at 5:30, the main tent is going to open with a strong woman act, and then 3 acts to follow that. There are going to be several games that are going to be happening, including the very popular Tin Pig Race. You can see that there have been several Space Race VR consoles installed, so that is like a VR space racing thing. There is Canny Oakley, which is a very popular game where you have like an air gun and you shoot at cans, you can get prizes. There is a merry-go. There's what the main attraction for this carnival is what is called Mesmerelda's merry-go wheel, and what it is this sort of you're strapped into this like either a horse, a unicorn. There's several different animals, much like a carousel. They move kind of in a twist and go to the outside of a large Ferris wheel-like structure. So you end up riding this animal on the outside of the Ferris wheel and then twist inside as it goes. It is a slow-moving ride, but it is a very weird sort of amalgamation. Additionally, there's the Tunnel of Love. There is, and that's what you would find out.
I'll tell you all what I know about it,
Okay.
but it's all from like flyers that have come through the trash. So like it's a little dated. Like my information's like oh yeah, and like 10 years ago she used to wear like this green turban with a jewel on it and an ugly purple feather.
Oh, darn. I hope the fashion's been upgraded. since.
Yeah, it was kind of disappointing, but
Seems pretty
she's a
dated.
Lashunta.
I do love the Shentas. And she like, oh wait, Bess isn't in our car. She's
Virtual
back
slap.
there.
One other thing to think about, Gibbs, with your general knowledge of this area, Port Recruity is a small town.
Right.
And looking around, you see a lot of Lashunta, you see a lot of Yosoki, you see a few humans, you see some Shirin. You don't see any Kasatha. And so
Right.
you'd imagine a four-armed person would stand out. And looking around, you look up at the colorful performers in the fence beyond. The carnival's a good place for somebody who stands out naturally to probably hide.
Is the strong woman a four-armed person?
You look over Spice's shoulders. Spice scrolls through. There is no picture,
Oh.
so hard to tell.
What do I see on my comms for the chat?
So far, nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, people kind of looking around. You see some links to sites that you've seen already about somebody going through like a Starliner and killing 22 people, something like that. I could look up the exact count actually.
Who wants to go for a swing on the merry-go-wheel?
Oh, I know. Yes, I've always dreamed about going to like a carnival or a theme park.
I should stick to the mission.
This is the mission. We're on the mission.
I mean,
I don't even have credits to pay the admission.
What's the price of admission?
I don't know.
So you look. It is free general admission, but you would imagine the rides,
Yeah.
the games,
The
the main
food,
show that would probably cost.
the funnel cakes, the bugs on a
The
stick.
tunnel of love.
So it's a pretty small town. I don't know that there's gonna be like a place to sleep on such short notice. We could always bunk in the back of this car if we can find a parking spot. It's no different than being on a ship.
Then we should at least find a place to park so that we can begin searching the town.
Yeah, that sounds good. I investigate for parking.
Sure. You don't need to roll for that.
Right.
No problem. You can find parking in town. You look around for a little bit, and you guys actually found a place that is relatively close where all of you can park together.
Wow.
remember to take a picture of the lot that we're in so we don't get lost.
Well, it's on the corner of Eel Street and Fish Street.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Okay, good.
You have a photo memory. Can you just like blink your eyes?
I don't think I actually have a photographic memory.
Whatever. Okay.
But maybe there's like we could GPS track the car or something. Maybe it's that fancy.
Yeah.
Mine is.
That's
yeah, yeah.
You gotta make sure the GPS is working though.
I don't want a street pocket.
Too bad.
Yeah, that's just like, yeah, somebody might hit your car, and like half of your car is like hanging down off of it. But you all find a place to park, and getting out, you corner of Eel and Fish Street is right along the long fairway green. So parking facing towards it, you can kind of watch over the next hour as this carnival is set up. Otherwise, if you would like, you have an hour to kind of amble about the 3 or 4 buildings in town. But what do you all want to do? We could fast forward, or you can use this time
I
as
want
you
to
like.
see within this town, I don't know, any signs of any four-armed assassin
Make a perception.
Kasatha, or anyone who like seems like they would be knowledgeable of
Make a
comings
perception
and
check,
goings.
or a culture check, your choice. Different results.
They're both gonna be bad. That's a 14 perception.
14 perception. You watch for a little bit, kind of sitting on your motorcycle, leaning up against it. You don't see any Kasatha. You see humans, you see Yosoki, you see a lot of Lashunta. Nobody with 4 arms.
Okay.
I'm gonna sort of slink off for a little bit and then send a text to Peep.
Okay.
And it's gonna read, before you get blindsided, ran into a little trouble at my hometown. No cost currently. Can you ask Sentinel Resources to forward the paperwork for a leave of absence? And send it off to Peep.
Okay. You send that off to people. No problem.
Gibbs!
And then return to the group.
I hear that though. I would like to look for a bookstore, library, or just some sort of go off on my own.
Okay.
And then just anywhere that there's written media. You know?
Written media?
Yeah, like paper or just something that's.
You know, like the fish and chips.
There's
Like,
the Petrus General. It's just like a general store where you can get stuff like that. No problem.
Before
There's
he
not
leaves-
like a some sort of antique store. Or
This is a fishing town with a canning factory. And
just
a
a
general store. It's not you look at the general folk that you see, most of them visiting, and so they look like maybe they would be interested in libraries and that kind of a thing. But when you look towards the docks and you see like the people who live here, it's a crusty looking group, and they're not looking like really the academic type. So time passes.
we join back up, right?
Yeah, I think I'd just be like staying by the cars, looking up, trying to find any info on the Netosphere.
Well, if we're out of the car,
Well,
Spice
we're-
is gonna go to the carnival.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
to the carnival with
excitedly
Spice.
stomping her feet.
Sure. So if you
well, I
want, we
guess
could fast
everyone-
forward to
yeah.
the opening of the carnival,
Yes.
right around 5 o'clock. So
She's like jumping up and down in front of like the strong lady.
Alright,
I'm
so
also
go
jumping
with
up.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first one's in line.
I'm just shaking.
So
Oh, we got a wheel. Thanks,
got a wheel?
Talon.
okay, there you go, Talon. I will apply that in just a moment. That's actually very good timing. So, as I stated before, I don't know how in control of the starting volume of this I have. Let's find out.
So exciting.
Oh, relatively reasonable.
So a little loud.
A little louder than I meant. Give me a second here.
This carnival is poppin'.
For what it's worth, it is definitely a pretty lively crowd here. But give me just a moment.
There's no like, I guess it's like a free carnival. No weapons check or anything.
Okay, guys,
Certainly
so
not.
we're gonna watch the
And
strong
so-
lady first, and then we're gonna go on the merry-go wheel,
We
right?
should stick
Oh,
to the
And then
mission.
a tunnel of love.
But then can we,
We
play
should-
one of those games where
We should
you...
stick
Oh yeah,
to
the
the
shoot the
mission.
candy.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
yes.
let's do that.
Oh my god!
We should start by looking for any suspicious.
Right. But after the
we
tunnel
should
of love.
stick together.
I want to win some
Love.
like punching gloves.
Jade, I don't know how much we're gonna be able to keep them on track, but I'm on your train of thought.
Okay.
Bub, suddenly a little Yosoki, kind of like a gnarled-looking older Yosoki, bumps into you and just goes, "Hey, I'm walking here!" and goes by, disappears into the crowd. You look down, you see a little cred stick sitting in the mud, Talon's wheel. But you can add 10 credits to your inventory.
Nice.
A little 10 credit cred stick there. Enough for games.
Before any of
I'm
you
gonna
get
spend
too
that
far
20
away,
minutes.
I need to attune again. So then I'll just gather everyone close, and then
We all huddle in.
Yeah. Now remember to meet back here in an hour or so.
We should plan on staying open on our comms and meet back here every 45 minutes.
Is that long enough to go on the merry-go-wheel twice?
You peek over down the way and you see a long line. You would
I'm gonna need
imagine
more than 45 minutes.
Might be enough to go once, maybe. That's a
How
long
about
line.
an hour and a half?
How about
How about you
you
accomplish
shouldn't
one
be
thing for the
going
bounty,
on?
and then you can maybe have more of the night off.
I agree.
And then
You
we can
shouldn't
each
be
do
going
one
on a
thing.
ride that's going to take over an hour to get onto. anyway.
Fine.
Maybe me and Spice could, go into the carnival area and
Maybe you could spare us all a second date.
Maybe we should split up you two. Shade, I have dibs on Spice.
Merry-go wheel it is!
Gives
I
on
think we should search for higher ground, Shade.
Merry-go wheel.
I think I'm going to focus on the mission. I'm gonna like look and just.
Why don't we meet some of the
I'm not gonna
carnival
see-
folk?
Yes. I love
I'm not
that
going to
idea.
see anyone if we're in the crowd. Going to need to be
so
on the rooftops.
I imagine us three are splitting off and you two are splitting off.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with
Yes,
that.
to the I guess
We've
the
got
highest
one
point
bounty
would
driven
be
person
Spice.
per
the
team.
Ferris
You
wheel
grab
thing or
onto Gibbs's
the
arm,
Mesmerelda
suddenly
thing.
Like, skip
haul
away.
off in the direction, I assume, of the Ferris wheel.
We're
or
going to
sorry,
the-
the
I think we're
Ferris
all
car?
going there now, right?
No.
No, you got. They
Yeah,
want
the
the
fir-
Ferris wheel. She's more excited for anything.
Oh yeah, we're going to the
No, she wants the
the
Ferris.
Mesmerelda, the
Mesmerelda's-
highest point
okay.
in the
Well,
thing,
that was my
presumably,
thought
right?
as well.
Mesmerelda's
Yeah.
merry-go-wheel.
Well, why don't we go to the
Well, that's-
strong
yeah.
woman thing and see if maybe
Sure.
we can hear
So the
whispers
strong
among
woman is the first act in the main tent. That's going to be like a whole performance.
Yeah.
That's probably about an hour long. That being said, as you guys kind of look around at that, go ahead and make a perception check.
12.
Okay. Spice, you can make a perception check as well. With the 12, you looking around, you see just the general commotion.
Ooh, natural
Things still
20!
being-
Nice.
Plus
I
8
needed
is a
that.
28.
Nice.
Oh.
So you just see a bunch of stuff. Things are chaotic, and so many Isoki, for the first time in a long time, a little distracting to you. You kind of lose track of things. But for you, Spice, so excited. You just want to take in everything. You see, first of all, some giant weights being wielded. You'd imagine for the strong woman. But also on that little dolly, you could see a suitcase. And as it goes in, the suitcase just kind of shakes a little bit on the trolley, as if there is something alive within it. Additionally, you see a number of costumes wheeled by on like one of those garment racks on wheels. You can see there are what look like some brightly colored spandex outfits. You'd imagine for like a trapeze artist. You see a unitard, probably for the strong woman. It's big. And then you see, interestingly, with a natural 20, the final costume has 4 sleeves. Brilliant, sparkly. It looks like that of a magician, perhaps. But with a natural 20, that is what you see.
Nice.
All that in the main tent.
Do you want to go see the strong lady?
I do.
In a natural 20, actually, you see one further thing. As the crowd is filtering into this tent,
Four-armed
you see
assassin.
another Lashunta, tall. The skin like a dark, dark, dark blue, almost navy in color. They have the look of a bounty hunter about them as well. And they make their way into the tent.
No, it's Jimmy Toes.
They have an average number of toes.
Dang.
Darn it. I don't recognize a person as a Mosaic team, do I?
They're definitely not a Mosaic employee.
Okay.
No. So you make your way towards that main tent. The 3 of you make your way towards this the merry-go-wheel. As you do, you are going to be passing 3 game stalls. Off on your left, as you make your way there, you see, turning to your left, there's a big mechanical ring, and you hear this little, what looks like it's actually a space goblin going around, is going, "Take your bets, give me your bets," and he's taking like handfuls of these little credit sticks. All of a sudden, you just hear this ding, and then these little pigs begin to like take off around the track. They're like
Tin
little-
pig races.
yeah, little tin cutout pigs that just go around this mechanical track.
Nice.
At the end, you see one of them kind of cross over, and there is a loud array of laughter and cheering that happens as a result of that. You pass a little bit further along. You can see a whole bunch of what look like piloting chairs stuck into what look like a full dive kind of like virtual reality rigs. And even as you pass, you can hear this kind of like video game like song There are bright lights overhead in this, and you see people putting down several hundred credits for races.
Several hundred?
Wow.
Do people
Big
actually
gold game.
pilot the
shit.
thing, or are they taking bets on it?
It seems as if people, so you can see very much like a pool table, people put like these little sticks down for like the next race, and people are betting per race. This is a game called Space Race VR. You can see all the different races. One of the empty cabinets, you see all. It's like the idle screen on a video game. Red Racer, Blue Bolt, Green Gizmo, like all the different racers and everything.
It's a VR racing game.
No, but I think he says you can only bet on it. You
The
actually-
final stall that you see is the one called Canny Oakley. And there you can see some additional tin can pigs that can be shot at with air guns. And then over the roof of them, you can see huge stuffed animals. Another row of smaller ones. You can see Mesmerelda's carnival tank tops. And then a whole bunch of sodas, kind of the lowest tier prize. But you pass those on your way to Mesmerelda's merry-go-wheel. This is the featured ride. And you can see little horses, unicorns, donkeys, griffins, a wind spider, various aliens, and other animals that exist in mythical sort of settings. And you see people being strapped into these. As it goes, you see they move forward on the inside, and then slowly it rotates so that they ride along the outside of this huge wheel. Towards the top, it is a spectacular view of the ocean and the fairground below, and then they slowly descend around. You see what looks like a teenager just kind of working the ride in the front.
Shade, before we go on this ride, could we maybe do like a game?
What sort of game?
Well, I mean, whatever one you can, help me win something. You're really good at, winning stuff.
You'd be a dab hand at that piloting game.
How long is the line?
There are several machines, so there are some that are open right now.
Oh, I mean, how long is the line for the merry-go-round wheel?
Like 10 minutes, because it's
Oh,
just
okay.
constantly going. It's easy to
Okay.
get people on and off.
It would be a simple way to increase our funds.
And didn't Lydell say something when we were in the mall about how you used to be really famous? About, like, piloting.
I don't know what he was talking about.
I'll put a wager on it.
Well,
I will bet you 200 credits that I can beat you at the piloting game.
Okay.
As Beth says that, you turn, you can see two side-by-side cabinets just open, almost beckoning you forward. It's as if the carnival music dies around you. This is like a Scott Pilgrim thing, and all of a sudden, all you could hear is the sounds of this game. But all right, you step up to this carnival ride.
One race isn't gonna take too long. We've got an hour.
Yeah, while they're doing that, I'm going to do the Annie Oakley.
The Canny Oakley.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you walk over to that at the same time. So as you guys approach this cabinet, you sit down. You have to put 2 credits into play. That's the only cost for it. And looking around, betting credits, that seems to be something that everybody is doing, but it is not, strictly speaking, run by the carnival. It's like pool tables at a bar.
Right.
So as you strap in, you pull these visors on. You can mark off 2 credits, and suddenly the world fades out around you. And again, apologies if this is loud to start.
Enter VR.
Okay, good.
Where's my monies? There we go.
Second here.
Can someone explain to me what a wheel is?
It's a good
It's like
thing.
a good thing. It's like,
Okay. And
It was-
a will
it's
is
like
the
That was
finding-
the credits.
Finding
that,
10 creds on the
Bubs found
ground.
so that he could be the what's it called? You could go and do rides and stuff, because otherwise I figured it'd be pretty tough for you to do.
having spent all my money on a date.
and then somebody else's money.
Apologies, louder than
And he's probably got like plus
All right,
percent.
so we're about to hit 3,000.
All right, so as the darkness kind of goes down, all of a sudden you hear this enthusiastic voice. Choose your racer! You have the option: Red Racer, Blue Bolt, Green Gizmo, Purple Lightning, Yellow Drift, or Pink Stalker.
Yellow drift.
Yellow
What's
Drift.
the
Yellow Drift.
what's the first one? That's
Red
just like
Racer.
I just press A.
Red Racer. As you chose first, you have the option of selecting Rat King Night, Coastal Day, or Rainbow Raceway.
Rainbow Raceway.
Fantastic. You select that, and
Favorite.
suddenly it's like the do do do, and everything goes dark. Suddenly you hear like the little ding, and it like fades in a little bit. Ding, it fades in one more time, and then boom. Suddenly, as you hit the accelerators in this, you feel, and for all of you watching, you see the physical chair lean way back as it kicks into gear. First, as you guys begin streaking forwards in these cars, you see all the other racers, VR, computer-controlled racers, also taking off in this pack. As you begin to drive, you roar down a hill and through these twists and turns of rainbow-colored road. Go ahead and make a piloting check for the first leg of this adventure here.
13.
Okay.
20. 22.
22. Vess, you pull into like a higher gear and shred out ahead of everybody else, leading the NPCs behind. You can see
Nice.
you see the purple lightning car and the pink stalker collide behind you, kind of like bursting into pixels before reforming as ghosts and beginning now much further back. As you pull far ahead, you feel confident that you're in first, and as you go to adjust your mirror, you just see a streak of red and suddenly shade and around the curve. You can see weird colored sparks as if he knows this game and has like mastered some maneuver in it, and he just accelerates around the curve. This is like using manual in Mario Kart when everybody else is using automatic. As you turn around this curve, suddenly every single element no longer straight and curved. It is like you are traveling along a rainbow snake. I need both of you
Some
to make
sort of
dexterity, reflex saves.
Rainbow Road. Oh, I think I have a thing for that.
Yeah, go for it. These turns are tighter and tighter and tighter as you progress down the segment of racetrack.
Reflex save?
11.
11.
Where are my saves? Oh, there it is. Okay. 16?
You said 16?
Yeah.
Okay. Shade disappears around the corner, and as you haul after him, you're like, I have to catch him. You like challenged him for this. So you kick it as hard as you can, losing sight and track of the other racers. One of them goes off and hits a jump to your right, and suddenly there's a shadow that passes over. The blue bolt lands directly in front of you. You have to swerve off and hit the side, running alongside. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Many of the racers pass you. You're dropping back and back and back. Shade, you turn. The other racers are catching up, but you see Vess fading in the mirror. You round a corner. Now, the last segment, you can see the finish line at the end of a massive ramp. This is a rainbow-colored ramp that travels up and up and up with no real way to not fall off should you get bumped. Go ahead and make a piloting check, both of you, for this final leg as you race towards the finish line. Vess, you are in 7th of 8th place at this point.
25.
25. Vess?
It is a 7. I mean, an 8.
An 8. Vess, as you get up towards the edge, just getting your speed back, suddenly
hit by
the
a
pink
red
racer
shell.
just bumps you on the side, and you fall off the side, end over end,
Classic
and then
Rainbow
suddenly the
Road.
screen goes black. 5, 4, and then like you see your little blinking car appear, and you get dropped back onto the track. But everybody far ahead on the straightaway jump.
For now.
For you, you roar ahead and looking, you just see the colors fade in the distance. And at the very end, you hit this jump and go through a burning circle. And as you go through, first place. And it's like that third degree, it zooms out and it sees you racing around the track. It goes to second place as they go and go and go. And finally, at the very end, after everybody already kind of like getting towards the end of the track again, Vess crosses. 8 out of 8.
Been
And
there.
suddenly, your screens lift up and away, and you are back within the fairgrounds. There are a few people who have gathered around to watch at this point, and there are definitely people who are very enthused by this. But excellent. You can take the 200 credits from Vess.
Nice.
Take it out of my
You're gonna
prodigious funds.
Daddy's wallet.
I do get direct deposit as a character.
Oh, that's nice.
Bubs.
Thank you.
while this is happening, give me one moment.
Do I see any like punching, like like the classic Mike Tyson punching glove?
Unfortunately, at this particular carnival does not appear to be, as far as you've seen.
No strength gains.
So
No, I mean like as a toy or something.
you walk up, you can see this little space goblin. Or no, sorry, that's the pig race.
I would have win a
Okay.
punching glove.
You see what looks like a teenage human girl, like red hair, down in a braid, kind of frizzy. She has freckles, and she looks at you, holds up a finger. That'll be 1 credit for a try, mister.
Oh, yeah, I guess I'll try. Is it fun?
She looks around. I don't know. It's you. What do you like to do?
I don't know really what I like to do.
She's gonna make a sense motive check on you. Well, why don't you give me 2 credits and we'll just give it a try, see if you
But
like it.
you just said 1 credit.
3
Inflation.
credits.
I'm just gonna give you 1 credit, and I want to play.
She holds out her comm, and you can plug in your cred stick and transfer 1 credit if you wish. She pulls out this little, well, it's like an air gun, like an old style, like air rifle. You have to pump.
Yeah.
And she passes it over to you. There are 15 little corks loaded in there. You have to try to shoot as many targets as you can in the time allotted, okay? Any questions, mister?
No, I know how to shoot a gun. I've been trained for this.
You can see her eyebrow goes up when you say that. But she
Trained
goes,
my whole life for this carnival.
she goes and presses a bell. There is a ding, and all of a sudden, all these little pig targets start moving across the screen. Go ahead and make an attack roll. This is a small arms weapon.
Yeah.
So you can add your proficiency if you are proficient.
I am proficient.
There you go.
Soldier's proficient with everything.
Soldiers are proficient with everything.
9 plus 6, 15.
15. So this weapon, such as it is, feels a little light in your hands. You pull the first time, and
Oh,
there's
plus my weapon focus.
so a total of
16. 1 more, plus 1.
that makes a difference.
Mm.
You just start firing these corks out, and one after another, you knock down 3, and then 5, and then eventually 12 of these animals. Little tiny tin pigs, and every time you hit one, they just go "Argh," and just go back.
Oh, can we get that again?
I don't know. That's a good question. At the very end, you can see the teenage girl like actually looks kind of impressed. And she goes, "That actually wasn't bad. I'm surprised. Which one do you want?" She points up at the large stuffed animals all across.
I'm trying to think. What are the animals that they have?
I mean, there are a
Anything?
variety. Certainly
Get the
pigs.
star chew.
Lol.
Did I write the actual animals? I didn't. So you can kind of have some creative liberty.
Get one that looks like a fish. You're in a fishing village.
I think-
Magikarp.
I'm gonna get one that probably has.
Gyarados.
Does any of them have like oversized gloves as a thing or something like that?
Sure.
Yeah,
Mr. Mime.
I want one like a giant King Kong with like boxing gloves.
Sure. You find a giant stuffed, what looks like a gorilla with huge red boxing gloves.
Yes.
Oh, Donkey Kong.
I'm gonna take
It
the
is
boxing gloves.
Donkey Kong. You found not
Yes.
a sponsor. You found
Schlonky Kong.
I don't know if that's the way you want to go.
I don't know about that one.
You guys just keep getting worse.
I wanted all paws too. Four paws of boxing gloves.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. You pull two off of another one and just slap them right back.
Nice, nice.
The teenager watches you and just goes, "Wow, that's pretty weird. Good job, mister."
Thank you.
So,
That was fun.
I'm glad you liked it. The two of you.
Wait, I wanna do a little roleplay here.
Sure.
Before we go any further. So, Spice is going to grab Gibbs's hand, run up to this costume rack, and like start pulling up the costumes off the rack and holding them up to Gibbs and holding them up to her body and going, oh my god, the fashion here is amazing.
So you see this Lashunta, like teal skin. She's bald, has a little bit of like a side hair thing. It looks like at one point it was probably a mohawk. There's like some singeing that happened at one point. She has this crazy eyeshadow, like a really severe cat eye, definitely lopsided. But she turns over and just goes, hey, hands off the costumes. These are the performers. She takes it away.
Well, I want to try a sleight of hand check here.
Okay, go ahead, make it. You're trying to pinch one of these costumes?
Yes, I'm trying to pinch 2.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Which 2 costumes do you pinch?
I want. Well, I only took notes of the unitard acrobatic one, so I guess
Okay.
2 of those.
Fantastic. So you pull 2 unitards out. They are red and like bright pink, like a not bright like a vibrant like a neon pink, but almost like a powdery pink. There is glitter all across them. They are very bright and very stretchy. They when you pull them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, of course, sorry, these are for the performers. We're gonna go watch the show.
She just wheels it away. So sure, you guys have your costumes.
Oh my god. Let's go backstage.
Did you notice what else was on that rack?
It was the costume for the Kasatha, but I didn't take it.
Right.
Because I want to see the Kasatha from the stage.
Right.
Would that have been better to take?
No. I'm just making sure you're on the same page.
No, yeah, I purposefully didn't take
You did good. You did good. I'm gonna pull on the spandex. Use my nail to like cut a hole in the butt for my tail.
Okay.
And then also put the spandex over my jar. So I just look like
Fun.
hunchback
Fun.
Yosoki jar lady.
You stretch it over such that like it really only comes up to about here on your shoulders. It's like just you have this wicked hunchback, and because it pulls the material so taut, you can see like elements of the jar through it. It's like thin pajamas almost because of how stretchy this has to get. That being said, you do pull it over, and you do have you're technically in a costume.
Perfect. Now let's go talk to the performers. Like we are performers. Like the performers that we are.
Excellent.
Don't you think they know who they perform with? You think
No,
they-
it's a circus. There's probably 10 of them. They probably come in and out as they get hired. That's my thought.
Okay. Lead the way then, Spice.
She like confidently waddles backstage in her new outfit.
No problem. You do so.
You look good in that though. It definitely goes with your
She
heels.
like flips her hair.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
walk
I'm
backstage
You look good in spandex. Gibbs
with,
not so much.
with Gibbs building you up, kind of like walking like in this kind of hobbled way with this big jar, like now lopsided, and every now and then like dropping to 4 paws to like make up the momentum. But no problem. You walk into the back. Nobody seems to question that you guys are there. Although certainly Gibbs is getting some looks.
I fix the outfit and I'll zip it up correctly with my jar on the outside.
Okay.
I'm gonna say we're gonna follow that lady with the clothing rack with the Kasatha outfit still on it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of like, confidently follow her.
Sure. You confidently follow, now both dressed in unitards.
Always wanted to see Gibbs in a unitard.
There you go.
Good
As you
looking.
make your way out into this like kind of general space, you can see a number of performers milling around. You see what is probably the strong woman, human, close to like 5'10", 5'11", broad shoulders. You can see right now she has a bowl of hard-boiled eggs, and she is just fisting those things. You can see also now the lady with the little rack stops. She pulls the suitcase off of it, and when she pulls it, it's like both arms. Ugh. Here you go. Drops it down. The strong woman with the eggs in her mouth goes, "Careful, you could get hurt."
Well,
Kind of takes another big bite. Continues forwards. You can see she pulls off 2 of these trapeze artist outfits, and you can see she looks around. She hands 2 to these Lashunta and then goes, I dropped some. 1 minute. She turns around and starts tracking backwards. She leaves the garment rack where it is. The Kasatha is still hanging there. There are a number of people milling around in the space. You see the aforementioned performers. Additionally, you see... Just one moment. Those seem to be like, what at least from what you can see, the primary performers for this evening. You see that suitcase shake around, and you would imagine there's probably somebody in there. It seems like part of the act. You see now 2 dressed Lashunta trapeze artists. There is a third who is just kind of wearing their street clothes. They look a little anxious. It seems like one of those was a spare. But that is what you see at the moment. Anything you guys are doing?
I want to waltz up to the rack, and I'm going to take the Kasatha outfit off and be like, oh, where's the Kasatha? I need to deliver this to him. Them.
Okay. So at that, suddenly, somebody new enters the room. You hear the voice just say, I'll take that. And reaching out, you can see turning the same face that you saw on that billboard. This is Mesmerelda, a Lashunta, incredibly pale. And now, fashion updated, you can see pale makeup, faint hints of lavender, and a hint of glitter on the cheeks. Heavy all-around black eyeliner that comes to dramatic fishtails. She wears mint green jacket, ruffled white flock and sleeves. There is white that emerges from underneath the jacket like an asymmetrical white skirt on the left side. There are glittery green eyes that have been sewn into that skirt. Mint green leggings cling to the legs down to laced up white leather heeled boots that come to just above the knees. But she holds out her hand for this outfit.
She's holding on to it, and she just kind of like bows, and she goes, Mesmerelda, it's an honor to meet you.
She holds it out and says, I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. You must be new, but I will bring that to our performer. Thank you.
She like holds it up and like dances around it, and she's like, oh my god, I cannot wait to meet him.
Okay. May I?
And then she hands it over.
Takes it, and you walk, she puts it over her arm and walks towards the back. You can see there is this kind of door. There are 3 of them that have pinned on these stars, which probably get moved from door to door from time to time. But the one immediately in front, give me just one moment,
You're gonna get a name.
reads Zahesh. But she knocks and just says, costume delivery. And she cracks the door open, just slides it inside. The door shuts.
Do we see 1 or 2
Make a
or 3 or
perception
4 hands? How many hands come out?
Perception check.
Ooh. 14.
You just see one gloved hand emerge and take it.
Do we see any other rooms that are marked with her
Yep,
former
so
names
there
on
is
them?
one that has Mesmerelda's name, and
Mhm.
if you were to peek around the corner at the 3rd door, you can see one that is Velga, and based on just the name, you'd imagine maybe the stronger one.
I'm going to text anybody on the comm
I was just gonna
and
do that,
not say anything out loud and just be like, potential name Zahesh.
Performer. I like follow it up with my own text.
Yep.
Performer in the big circus tent. Lots of spandex.
I'm going to go up to Zahesh's door
Okay.
and be like, I'm just gonna knock. So knock, knock, knock.
Okay. And before you even knock, you can hear some shifting around. You hear like a zip as if this person is getting dressed. You hear the motion stop, and then you just hear, I'm getting ready, so later, please. We have a performance in 5 minutes.
Spice is gonna back off the door then, because
Okay.
I can't think of anything good to do.
No problem. And almost as soon as that is said, give me just one moment, you begin to hear the music change.
She leans over to Gibbs. How was your acrobatics?
We're not going on stage. There's no
Oh,
way.
we are in costume, babe. We are getting up there.
The lights go off.
Spice
You
like,
can see the door that was open that you guys entered shuts behind and you can see a couple of carnies like gathered around, now kind of like standing in front of the door, looking around the curtain that separates this backstage area from the main stage. You hear voices, and you see Mesmerelda now step up to where the curtains part, where she can step through and address the crowd. This show is about to start, but give me just one moment.
Beep, 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 beep.
Oh, it's about to be 9 o'clock, huh?
Oh, I was beep, beep, beeping to go to the tent.
So,
Oh, you guys aren't gonna go on the merry-go-wheel?
No,
Well, now that
just
we got the
texted.
message
Yeah.
from you.
Well, I don't know if it's the right Casaltha. I don't know. They're just,
Yeah, it's
We
kind of
should-
racist for us to assume it is, but
so you guys begin to make your way back towards that tent.
I mean, I would probably say like
yeah,
we
don't
should
wanna tie ourselves up.
we should meet ourselves. Yeah, we should meet up with
Okay.
Gibbs and.
As we're going back, I'm just
Captain.
gonna look through my internet to see if I can find someone who looks kind of like Shade or just past winners of racers. Because I remember
Make a
Light Up.
culture check.
Does
Yeah.
anyone do a culture check on Zahatha's name or whatever? Zahash's name?
Yeah, I guess I would start looking up the name that they sent us
Right.
to see if I could
I
get
can
any
look it
info.
up as well.
Don't know what to. It's one of those things where you just don't know the right terms to Google. You know?
So culture check.
Sure.
It is
Was mine also a culture
28.
check?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 9.
Okay. You don't find anything. You're looking in common.
Mm.
But for you, who speaks and communicates in Lashunta quite commonly, it's a Lashunta name.
Oh.
You Google that, or do the Infosphere search, and you see a lot of mentions of Zahesh the Magnificent, a Lashunta magician who is able to throw throwing knives with such speed that it appears as if they have 4 arms. There's a lot of gimmicky kind of things to that. You can see as you kind of, with that score, you go over and travel the Infosphere, you pull up video clips, you can see them making doves appear. You can see them, there's a lot about their throwing knives. That's kind of what they're known for.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great character already.
We're gonna have to kill him, or
Or just
get him
turn it.
alive.
But again, for what it's worth, this is
They're
a
worth
Lashunta.
more alive, right?
So, as these the lights go up and you see Mesmerelda step between these curtains, the 3 of you get to the main entrance, which is currently closed. You can see there's a sign turned around. You'd imagine it would say, "Come on in" on the other side. On the current side facing you, it says "Show in progress." There's a number of carnies kind of gathered around the entrance.
We can't just like make our way
You
sneaky.
can
in.
certainly try.
Are they
But-
like standing there trying to keep people out? or-
No, I mean, sort of. It's not like they're there to like they're not like forcibly bouncing people out, but they're the kind of people that are like, hey, the show's going on, you have to come back, That being said, because it is 9 o'clock, this is where we're going to end for tonight.
Oh. Wow, okay.
Just because I feel like the next part is will get kind of
Yeah.
long, and I don't
That's
want to
fine.
go too long tonight.
Mhm.
But when we return next week, are we back next week?
Yep.
So when we return next week, we will begin Mesmerelda's carnival. We will get
Nice.
into the 4-act carnival, and then perhaps see if we can't track down this bounty. But,
Nice.
Thank you guys so much for joining in. Thank you for the Wheel Talon. Thanks for hanging out with us for this adventure that we've been going on.
next week is Cinco de Mayo.
Is that true?
It is true.
Oh,
It's May
nice.
5th.
Are we gonna do like a dress up, like a theme kind of thing? What do we want to do here? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Fun.
Carnival
do-
theme.
Yeah, we could do.
Carnival.
You guys want to do a dress
Carnival,
up?
Yes.
So feel free to play along at home, dress up in your favorite carnival outfits. But join us next week on Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a carnival-themed Mosaic Team 5 Session 9. But until then, please stay safe. It is crazy out there. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.